What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy, Mr. MicroMike, and today we're doing the OnePride Podcast, and we have a fun one for you folks tonight. And I am joined by many of the ISN members. First, start with Travis Troxel. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, everybody? It is
ready?
Thursday.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Next,
stays ready.
He stays ready. Next, we have the man himself. When he gets mad, he gives you a burn because it is the Dern. What's going on, Dern? Welcome.
What's going on, guys? It's going to be a great night for Talking Lions football.
And lastly, and surely not least, this guy gets after you because he is the Gridiron Blitz. What's going on, Gridiron Blitz?
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and let's get this show started.
Folks, if you have not done so, please like the chat right now, as well as subscribe to all the members of the channel and mine, of course. And if do so, please share. Grid, can you do me a favor and give a shout out to the chat?
I can do that, but I'm a little confused, Mike, because I only see OnePride Nation, Craig Ferguson, Brandon CR7, and Brandon Kenney. And that's all I see for right now, so I'm a little confused there.
Well, we have some John Kapler, Frog Crop, as well as Jorge jumped in here. Folks, people are going to stream in and out, and that's what it's all about because this thing just got crack-a-lackin', but it's time now to get our lips smacking and talk about our beloved Detroit Lions. And we are here to talk about some news, rumors, and more. And let's start with the first one of the day. Lions center Russell Bodin has opted out. What is your thoughts, Travis Troxel?
Well, I didn't think that he was going to make the roster due to Frank Ragnow, because usually we always carry about one center, and he is a center. But so, you know, I feel like this would actually give him another year to kind of get himself back into shape, get him more familiar with the playbook, and be ready to rock and roll come the first week of training camp in 2021.
Hey, I see what you're trying to say there. Dern, what say you, man? What do you think about him opting out of our Detroit Lions for 2020?
You know, I might be a bad guy talking like this, but I feel like none of the Lions players that opted out are going to have that big of an impact on the team. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I feel like the players that did opt out felt like they didn't have a great chance to make the team. And so they just took the guaranteed money from the NFLPA, which I think is $300,000.
Okay. Wow. And of course, the Gridiron Blitz. What do you think about this, man? You have not been on here in a little bit. I'm excited to have you back. What do you think about this young man opting out for 2020?
Well, I think that it doesn't really matter. I agree with the Dern. Just to kind of put that in perspective, he has no picture on the DetroitLions.com. They don't even have a photo of this guy. So I believe we were fortunate to not have any big name people opt out of the 2020 season. And I don't really think it's going to have an effect on our roster at all.
I don't think it's going to have an effect either, folks. I don't really care.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah.
Man,
yeah.
Look, we got a lot of quality players that's be fighting for this roster spot. To me, I wasn't even thinking about this guy. We got so many. We
just had to talk about it. We had to talk about it.
Because it is, of course, Detroit Lions news. But if you look at what Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia have done with this roster, they are very much universal. And they're very much universal on the offensive line. If you look at Crosby, he's a left and right tackle. He can do both. We have guards that can play other guards. And guess what? We have guards that can play center if need be. And that's what I do love about Bob Quinn, what he has done with this roster. So I am absolutely not worried about this young man who probably wasn't going to make the team anyways. I didn't even know who he was. I'm not going to lie.
No, that is true.
So in that sense, I don't really care. But with that said, hey, if you have not hit that like button, please do so. Tell me, are you mad that he opted out or you don't care? So don't care for D. If you're mad for M, let me know. But hit that like button as we flow to the next question, to the most important type of question, and that is this right here. The Detroit Lions have activated KennyG from the COVID list. Travis Troxel, what's your thoughts about this?
Well, my thoughts is definitely Hey, let's go get our guy. That's our number one wide receiver. We need him if we are going to be successful in 2020. And hey, I'm surprised we haven't paid that man yet.
Folks, I just got a $10 super chat from MVP Frog Crop. He says, so ready for our men in the Honolulu Blue to kick some fanny. I am with you. Everybody get a congratulations to Frog Crop. He is the man, the myth, and I hear myself.
And yes, Sue, 1-2. I did too. I did too.
I appreciate the super chat. It's going back into the channel like it always does. And you are absolutely awesome. And I truly, truly appreciate that. Dern, what do you think about Kenny Golladay, the number one wide receiver, to finally be released from this list that, let's be honest, is terrifying? It was terrifying.
It is terrifying, and in my opinion, it's great news. Anyone who gets activated is good news because that means they don't have COVID. Mm-hmm. Player safety is the number one priority when the NFL comes, and now he can be with the rest of his teammates and get their camaraderie going.
You know, and you're talking about health safety, you're talking about camaraderie, all this and above. This is a crazy offseason. We've never seen an offseason like this in some time. I wasn't too worried about with him just missing some time, but the COVID stuff, it's scary. And I am happy he is off that list. Same with the one Matthew Stafford, the great one, but the gridiron blitz, the man who swims through land. How does you feel about KennyG being activated and back on top with our roster?
I feel fantastic.
Give me 1 sec. When you said that, I just pictured him in a boat just trying to row on land.
Yeah, I actually pictured myself swimming
gently down to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I thought something similar. As far as KennyG, that's our guy, man. We know he has to be paid this year, and I don't know what Bob Quinn is waiting on with that, but we shall see very soon. We have to have this guy. He is our number one receiver. Led the Detroit Lions in touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, and is a stud, man. So we needed this guy, and I'm glad that I just hope that him and the others that are on the list stay healthy. But as far as we need him, man, and I'm glad that he was able to come off the list.
Let's get a hashtag KennyG to support our guy. He is not a past top 15 wide receiver. Thank you, Tone. Just kind of giving you a little wider. Notice
that Tone is not here today. Tone is not here the day that I get on. He's not here, man, because he knew what was going on.
Absolutely. And look, he was afraid of the gridiron blitz because the gridiron blitz brings the gridiron facts. And that's hashtag facts on facts crime. Yes, absolutely. When it comes to Kenny Golladay, it's a reliever. This offseason has been a bad one, to say the least. We got the scare with Matthew Stafford. We got the scare with Justin Coleman. Kenny Golladay is the last person I want to see on offense besides Stafford not be on the field, not miss a much of time. This guy is an integral part of our offense. He opens it up for Marvin Jones Jr. He opens it up for TJ Hockenson. He's going to open it up for our running game as well. Having this man on the field, this guy who can catch contested catches like no other, will help us win in the NFC North. If he was unable to play during this season, or at least in the early parts of the season, that is not good because we play the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. So if we don't have him on the field, you don't want to start out 0-2 in the division, especially if you're the Detroit Lions. So I'm extremely happy that he is good to go. Hopefully this continues and everything going forward in regards of COVID and our essential players are quality and can move forward, folks. So tell me how you feel. Are you happy about that in the chat? I know we are, and it's a good feeling. It's definitely a good feeling. I didn't have this in the question side, but I'm going to throw this at you, the Gridiron Blitz, out of nowhere. Everson Griffen, there's rumors. You know it's coming.
Oh, my God.
Do another one. I want to hear another.
Oh, my God.
That he could go to the Seattle Seahawks. Same with Clay Matthews, but I know how much you love Everson Griffen. He tweeted you, and Matt Patricia spoke to you. How do you feel about this?
Man, you got me a little emotional, Mike. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I am very saddened by this news. It comes out today that Everson Griffen, the front runner to sign him, is Seattle. I thought Seattle might be out of the running with the bringing in of Jamal Adams. Maybe they wouldn't have the money, or just they wouldn't want him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out that he is in the front. He's the front runner to go there. So I'm sad. The Detroit Lions need him very much. But shout out to Everson Griffen, man. He has to go where he think he's going to win, because he is up in age in football terms, and he's got to go somewhere. It's either going to be about the money or winning. And we can't really provide him either. So with that being said,
wait
a second.
Hey, listen. Y'all might be on the Kool-Aid, but I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water today.
If Everson Griffen comes to Detroit, we will have the best of both worlds. Our defense will be way better. Our offense is still going to be elite. And that's a recipe for us, at least a playoff berth. And what happens there? That's all you got to play the game.
One second. One thing, Mike. I did wanted to say this. Bob Quinn. Quinn is a sneaky GM. And what I mean by that is he does a lot of things behind the scenes underneath the radar. So there is an off chance that he could bring Everson Griffen. And if he comes, I don't know. You see the smile that's coming on my face. So I need him to come here. Please come here. But with that being said, if he goes to Seattle, I want the best for him overall.
And that is good, because I don't want you walking off a cliff already, and the season has not even started yet. I know you're in love with the Griffen.
Yeah.
I understand it. But Griffen may not be in love with the gridiron.
That's true.
That's true. I see these guys are on the Griffen bandwagon. I mean, they are literally cheerleaders. They got the pom-poms ready. Are you kind of bring them back to my level a little bit, where it's like, it's okay? Well, give me your thoughts, Dern.
Well, I just apologize, guys. I don't think he's coming here because he wants a guarantee for both of them. He wants to guarantee win to at least get to the playoffs and compete, which we can't guarantee. And he wants probably high amount of money, which we can't guarantee that either, because we still have Kenny Golladay we got to sign. We still have other pieces that we need to try to get as well.
Absolutely. Look, I think...
Can I chime in real quick on that one?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Okay. So with the Kenny Golladay extension, that will not kick in 2020. That will kick in 2021. So if we offer Everson Griffen, say $10 million, I'm just throwing a number out there. Don't quote me on this. I'm just throwing numbers. If we offer him $10 million for 1 year, then what we could do is still have that money set aside for Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay is going to get his money, and he's well deserved as well. But for the win now situation, we can still offer, Everson Griffen $10 million and still be able to win now while still having him getting paid immediately. So I still got hopes up for him to come here. Will he come here? Hey, you get to go up against the Minnesota Vikings 2 times a year. You come up against the Chicago Bears 2 times a year, and you go up against the Green Bay Packers 2 times a year. Teams that you all know.
So with you saying that, is my response will be he could do the same if he goes to the Green Bay Packers, which he could do that and go against us. And he has probably more of a chance to win because they got Aaron Rodgers. And,
but they're in shambles.
Really well.
But you got to understand when it comes to Green Bay Packers, their quarterback's a D-bag. Does he really want to play for a quarterback such as that? That is a question. I'm not.
My
sure
response to Dern would be,
"You weak, pathetic fool."
You just mad at facts, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I can't discriminate. I just had to push the button, man. Yeah, those are facts, though, Dern. Absolutely.
So, look, when it comes to Everson Griffen and me, I'm like, it'd be cool if he was added, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not in love with the Griffen as much as some of these other guys. I really want the
I'll say it. I'm in love. I'm in love with the Griffen. Absolutely.
I'm in love with the Griffen.
Absolutely, man. There's everybody, a lot of people in the chat are saying, Mike, that he would be a game changer. And I know that, people disrespect when you get over 30. but the man puts up numbers, and we had 0 pass rush last year. So I think he would be a huge asset to the team.
Look, I totally get it, man. I think he would be an asset to the team. I'm just not. If he decided not to be on the team, I'm not going to fall off a cliff.
I will. So
you will. See, that's different.
Get ready to play the Taps music and everything, man. I'm done.
Yeah. If KennyG don't play, that's the type of cliff I'm falling off of for a Stafford. It's over. Yeah. But I think he would be an asset to the team, no doubt about it. But the next question here is Matt Prater believes he can break his own kicking record. I know it's just a kicker, but this guy has got a boot at a 64-yarder. Do you think, Travis Troxel of Troxel Sports Talk, that Matt Prater, he's getting a little older, do you think he can actually break the record here and maybe hit a 65?
Well, first off, I would like to say, if you are in the chat and you haven't hit that thumbs up, definitely hit that thumbs up.
Woo!
Second of all, for the Gridiron Blitz, for you trying to jump off a cliff if Everson Griffen doesn't come in here. But as far as the question goes, you guys, absolutely, I do think Matt Prater can break his own record. He did it in the Mile High with climates, elevation, all that. So with that being said, altitude. But with that being said, I definitely think at a lower elevation, or man, I'm all tongue twice.
That's
well deserved. Well deserved. But with the lower altitude, I definitely think that he could definitely break his own record. I believe it is 64 or 65 yards.
64
yards, and he did that in Denver.
Okay.
So I definitely think he can break that record.
Rosa, welcome to the chat. I just seen you jump in here now. I appreciate you. I remember when you subscribed to my channel. It's nice to see you in chat. The Dern, do you think that the kicker, Matt Prater, he's small, but he's got a big leg, can break the 64-yarder and maybe hit a 65 this year?
I just noticed I'm a pessimist today because
yes, you
I'm
are.
not so sure. I'm not so sure. The dude is, I think, 35 years old. And I would love for him to prove me wrong, because if he does and he wins, it gets the whole city of Detroit beer, I think, from what I heard is what's going on.
Yeah.
And it would prove McManus and the whole league that he has the strongest leg in the NFL.
DVE Hater House, yes, hashtag DVE. Frog Crop dropping another super chat of $5. Let's get that applause.
Guy.
Let's get the applause going. I appreciate you. Oh,
let's go, Frog Crop.
Frog Crop,
appreciate
man.
Man.
You are definitely the MVP, and I promise that the money definitely will go back into what I'm trying to build here is a quality operations to bring Detroit Lions to a better respectability. And without people like you, it doesn't occur. There's a lot of work that goes into it. The Gridiron Blitz. Do you think that Matt Prater, our kicker, short but big leg, can break the record here and give you a beer?
Can I take? I don't care for 200. Oh man, that's not the right end. Jeez. Okay. You know what? I think he can. Matt Prater has a giant leg, and it doesn't seem like he's lost anything, to tell you the truth. He's been very reliable, probably. The most reliable quick kicker we've had since Jason Hansen. So I think he can. And I think if he gets a chance, he absolutely could.
Okay, folks, if you think that Matt Prater can break the record and hit a 65er, hit yes or N for no. Let me know in the chat. Me, no, I don't believe he can do it. He's getting older. That is very difficult to do. A 65-yard field goal. And we were seeing last year, it felt like he was starting to fall off a little bit. Not in bad, but he's on the back end of his career, not in the beginning where he was just a straight monster. And that's not a bad thing. The guy's a very good kicker, so I'm extremely happy for him to be on the roster. But if you look at Jason Hansen and you look at the kickers Murray that we had by the end of the career, it felt like the lift and the amount it can go up seems to decrease a little bit. And I expect that to happen again this year. He's still reliable, but a 65-yarder, that is insane.
Mike, he was kicking 70 65 or 70 from, it was no pass rush, obviously.
No pass rush.
Right.
He was kicking.
The only reason I feel that I feel this way is because of these last 2 years where it feels like he is going down from his production. The first 2 years, he was just dynamite. I can't remember his percentage, but it was way better than these last 2 years.
Hey, hold on 1 quick second. I got to put my 2 cents in.
And you better, Trav. Hey, put some respect on his name, man.
Ain't Sebastian Janikowski still playing in the league? And if not, he just barely retired. I mean, that dude's 40-something years old, still kicking it.
And I think Gary Anderson was booting him too. He was still booting him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even Atlanta Falcons kicker Matt Bryant, he was still kicking it in the NFL at 43 years old.
Mm-hmm. Look, I get it, fellas. I get it, but I felt like he was losing a little bit of lift last year.
Oh, I'll say, especially Matt Bryant. Matt Bryant, I think, has to retire now. His kicking is not what it was. I mean, he used to be automatic, but now his kick is not even automatic anymore. So, I mean, once you hit that 40-year-old mark.
Watch yourself, Travis. Watch yourself.
Watch it.
Watch yourself.
Watch it. I'm 35, man. Watch yourself.
Watch yourself, man. I'm telling you, they say 40 is the new 30, man. I'm telling you.
Grid.
Don't make me smack you with the soft D. We don't want that.
Hey.
No.
Hey, stop. Y'all have to put some respect on the older one's name, man. I'm telling you, y'all trying to disrespect these guys when they hit 32 years old. I don't know.
Hey, I'm bringing out the 40 on a kicker though.
We're talking about 40.
Trav, why don't you come over here and see me, man? See what my leg can do.
40 is the new 90. Come on, Gridiron. We know that. Okay. We know that if you're 40 years old, you're like you're 90. As long as you're on the end here. But if you're in the chat, no way. 40 is the new 20. So that's the bottom line. And because I said so. Right. And folks, I just want to give you an FYI. At 8:30, we go for you to the chat. You ask us the questions, and we shall answer. And that will be at 8:30 p.m. EST. And get you involved because this show is all about you, not us. Make sure you hit that like button. I would duly appreciate that. Who is the player that will make the roster that no one expects, Travis Troxel of Troxel Sports Talk?
Nick Bogdan, let's go. Nobody has faith in him. And I'm going to keep saying it until he makes his squad.
I can't wait for this dude to not make the squad just so I can never hear his name again.
We still going to bring him up.
Hey, then I'll bring up Sellers.
What player should we bring in before the season starts?
Nick Bodine. How in the world? Okay, I know you love Everson Griffen, Derek P. Field. Oh, sorry, the Gridiron Blitz. I know how much you're in love with him, but sir. This guy has an obsession. He is. I think he put cameras in this man's bathroom.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
I think this guy throws subliminals every single day. Because he's infatuated with this.
And
man.
I know people like that, Mike. I know people that when they have an obsession, man, it's not healthy. It's not healthy.
It's not a gift, okay?
Absolutely.
It is a curse, folks.
Got him.
It's a curse.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Okay, Travis Troxel. Explain to the folks for the 550th time why Nick Bodine is going to make this roster that no one expects.
Well, like I said, you guys, week after week, day after day that I'm on the show, winning football programs have a fullback still. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are getting phased out because they're getting replaced with the H-back, a la a tight end. But what Nick Bogdan does is he does his job. He blocks. He opens up some running lanes. He helps Matthew Stafford in pass blocking. He does a lot of the minute things that you need to win football games because it maybe extends a play for a couple more seconds for Stafford to air it down the field for a Kenny Golladay, a Marvin Deep Ball Hall, a Marvin Jones Jr., things like that. Those little minute things really, really will help, open up the offense. And then you got a guy, that was picked in the second round. Actually, we have two of those guys. Shout out to Noble Sports Entertainment. If you're not subscribed to him, definitely do so. Part of our ISM brothers. And, and MicroMike for calling the pick correctly, which is DeAndre Swift. And we also have another guy named Kerryon Johnson. And, having Nick Bodine come out and having a blocker for him, at the fullback position is going to open up the holes. Hey, if you take that guy that's on the left side, guess what? I can cut back on the right side and I can gain another 5 to 10 yards or maybe a couple more extra yards to get a first down. Because the name of the game is to get the first downs to extend the drives. If you can extend the drives, you have a better position to score a touchdown because you keep moving the chains. You're wearing out that defense.
Okay. Nick Bodine, we know who is definitely on the bandwagon, the Dern. What do you think? Who is a player that is going to make this roster that no one expects?
Don't worry, my answer is not the same as his.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know not everyone is counting this guy out, but quite a bit are, and I was before as well. But the more I think about it, the more he should be on the team, and that guy is Ty Johnson. Okay. Dude is only in his second year. Lions used a 6th round draft pick on him last year.
Okay.
He had 63 carries for 273 yards. I know it doesn't sound like much, but that's 4.3 yards a carry, which isn't that bad. He has a vision problem, but I think he can correct it. And with us upgrading our offensive line, I think that would help out quite a bit as well. And he wasn't at the scouting combine, but when scouts were clocking him when he was doing his 40, I think it was a 4.3.
Okay. Yeah, he was very fast. Ty
Yeah,
Johnson was an individual I was paying attention to all last year in this draft, the 6th round pick. I thought, man, with his speed, he can really bring the Lions offense to the next level with Bevel, and that is what I want to see. I see the Ghost of Judah Tribe is in here. What's going on, Ghost of Judah Tribe? I know he loves trolling us Lions fans, but he's actually a really nice guy.
Absolutely.
So if you're a Chicago Bears fan, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Or if you're into other stuff, I'm sure he could talk about it in the chat, but he's actually a nice dude. Don Burr, what's going on, man? OnePride Nation, Dr. Detroit. Man, members of mine. I see the members in here. If you want to be a member, go ahead and become a member. The link is in the description. The Gridiron Blitz. How about you, a player that is going to make this roster that no one expects?
Well, first of all, I think that player might be Bubbles right here. Bubbles might probably make the roster, but yeah, I don't know if he's out there.
Okay, definitely no.
So my thing is, I'm thinking Jamal Agnew. I know nobody, when you say nobody, that's kind of a general term. At first didn't think that he wasn't going to make it, but he's out there really, really practicing, really, really looking good out there. But he's done this to us before.
Okay.
And I think that Jamal Agnew might sneak in his way along with Miles Killebrew. Like, Miles has found a way to be on his team for years and years and years. And I think he accomplishes that this year as well. I think Jamal Agnew, man, does something impresses somebody and sticks it out on his team.
Okay, we got some Jamal Agnews.
I can't believe I just said that, bro. Like, I don't.
Well, with Geronimo Allison opting out, I guess you can see it's still going to be a difficult transition, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it as a wide receiver, though, necessarily, Mike. Just find a place like Killebrew. You had he was drafted as a safety, linebacker, special teams, ripping people's heads off. So I think Jamal Agnew will find a way as well.
And you just took my guy, and that's Miles Killebrew. I think he's going to make the roster that no one expects because he's a multi-dimensional player. He could play the safety position. He could play the linebacker position. The guy has somehow stayed on this roster through the last couple of years in regards to, we assumed he would not make the roster, but he's so multi-dimensional. He's so got a great work ethic, and he's still a powerhouse. I think he makes the roster, even though we upgraded the safety position, even though we got the Jamie Collins as a linebacker. I think he still makes the roster because how do you make the roster if you're in the bottom 55 it's through IE special teams. And that's another asset that Miles Killebrew brings to the Detroit Lions is he's good at special teams. He's good at the safety, and he's good as a linebacker. So I think he makes the roster in that aspect. Folks, who do you think is going to make the roster in the chat? Let me know. Do you think it's going to be a Miles Killebrew and Agnew, or, of course, Nick Noden?
Hey,
if someone else
Nick
throw it in
Bodine,
there.
I got you, brother. You had the long hair, I got you.
Yes, Nick Bodine actually looks like the Winter Soldier from the Captain America saga. Dern, let me know. I seen your hand was raised up there, Shadow Chief. Welcome to the chat. What do you got, Dern?
The only thing I want to say about Miles Killebrew is, man, he's been such a letdown. I thought he was going to be huge for us.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been such a disappointment, in my opinion.
Hey, Dern, are you okay today? What happened? What happened to the
I'm
Dern?
being me, okay?
Hey, I gotta inject in with some Mike Will from MicroMike. Come on, Mike.
He's blue. He's blue.
Dern is a drag today. I see you, Dern.
Like I say this every single time when
My
someone
day has
is
been bad.
Dern it.
I need this.
They had the Jim Jones Kool-Aid, the spiked Kool-Aid. You don't drink that Kool-Aid. It's very important to take the Kool-Aid that has not been tampered with. That is the Dern Kool-Aid. Stay away from that stuff, folks. You're going to go back to the Matt Millen era with that lovely drink that is in his hand. So stay away from that. It's important, man. We got to be positive here. And, of course, Dern is negative, but that's okay. But we're going to switch. We're going to switch topics. And it says, if you could trade for one player from the Lions, not to the Lions, but away from the Lions, who would it be? What the compensation would be? Travis Troxel of Sports Talk. Let me know. Who would it be?
You know, a lot of people might chop my head off for this one, but I am going to say Marvin Jones Jr. I think at 28 years old, he is in prime position to be a win-now player. If we are going to get rid of him at the end of the season due to his contract being up, you might as well go get something for him. If you could go get something for him and continue to replenish the well, that's a win-win for us. Plus, if we could get a guy say, okay, hey, our defensive line is still missing because we don't have an Everson Griffen or we don't have a Marcel Darius. Well, guess what? Now you got a guy that you could trade because, Quintez Cephas might step up or a deep ball Hall could step up. And, you could plug and play a little bit. And then, you use Marvin Jones Jr. to go and fill up a different hole on the team so we could try to go and make this playoffs.
Okay. I like that answer. Even though I do not want him to be traded.
Oh, I don't either, but
don't want him to be traded, but I see it. I feel you, Darren. What about you? What is a player that you could see that could legitimately be traded? Because let's face it, folks, we trade players away. All you got to do is ask Golden Tate. He will tell you that. Same with Darius Slay, where he didn't want to play in the snow, where he got traded to a place that snows.
Quite a bit.
So, Darren, who you got, man?
Well, I would like to trade this player away, but there's no way any team would trade for Christian Jones.
Okay.
There's no team that would trade for him, so we just got to cut him. So, with that being said, I wanted to say Jesse James, but we can't because the dead cap would be way too much just to get rid of him. At this point, I don't think we should trade anyone, but maybe at the deadline, if Swift is doing well, Ty Johnson, maybe Scarborough doing well, maybe a carry-on if he's healthy. It all depends on where we are at before that trade deadline.
Folks, if you could trade a player away from the Detroit Lions to another team, let me know who you trade away. I see some Taylor Deckers. I see some Jones Juniors.
You don't want to trade Taylor Decker away.
That would, unless, it just depends. But I'm not the guy that would trade him away right now.
I wouldn't either.
Jay's in the building.
What's going on, no?
Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
Butter.
Butter. We appreciate you. Gridiron Blitz. Subscribe to his channel, folks. Subscribe to everybody on the channel here, man. These guys work extremely hard. I know that Travis Troxel is going to be dropping some videos here soon. A lot of Pistons videos. The Dern, he dropped smiles. And the Gridiron Blitz, He drops a lot of content, and we're getting ready to roll for bringing the best content out there. But Gridiron Blitz,
Yes, sir.
what do you say? Who is a player that we could trade away for you if you had a shot to do that?
Ah, man, I know who yours is going to be, Mike, so I'll save that. But personally, this guy grinds my gears. I don't like anything about him. One Chase McBurger. I know we can't trade him. I just throw him away. Just throw him in the trash or give me a bag of peanuts, the ones that have the hot and spicy, because I like that. I just don't want him on this team. I'm not a huge fan of Chase, so I could trade him away for nothing, and I would do it.
Okay.
Is that for me, Travis?
That is for you, because that was music to my ears.
I can't stand Chase Daniel, man.
Hey, we could have got Cam Newton.
But see, we have a thing, MicroMike, and I knew you have to go. We have a thing for people with the last name Daniel, okay? And usually what they do is they sit and they collect money, some in hot tubs and some on the bench. That's just how it goes.
He's about to collect a lot of money.
Yeah, he is.
I see even trade Jared Davis.
I saw that as well. I'm gonna give Gerard one more try. He got one more year.
Gerard or Jared, maybe you are correct.
I don't care what it. Yeah,
it's Jared Davis.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if we trade him away at some point, it's not going to matter.
People call him Gerard, just like
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, y'all, funny.
So, what player did you think I'm going to say trade away, Gridiron Blitz? You said you knew the individual I was going to get rid of. I am curious to see, who do you think that Mr. MicroMike is going to trade away?
Well, if we had Deion Lewis, I would say him, but we don't. So one Mr. 43rd overall back in 2018, Mr. Kerryon Johnson. Would that be correct, MicroMike?
Folks, if there's one player I can trade away before the trade deadline, it is Mr. Kerryon Johnson. I know people are shaking their head, but I'm going to tell you why. I believe that DeAndre Swift is going to be a very good special back for us. Thus, we're going to be able to use him a lot on offense. The less he is on the field, the less bigger plays we're going to get. I believe DeAndre Swift is much better than Kerryon Johnson. I don't want to see Kerryon Johnson get more carries than DeAndre Swift. We have seen in the past, and this is a knock on Darrell Bevell, he likes to pull out sometimes the player who is hot just to do rotation. I am not a fan of that theory. If a player is hot, I don't care. Keep him in the game. And I want to see DeAndre Swift in the game. And I believe that Bo Scarborough can be that power Joik Bell type of back that could be the thunder to DeAndre Swift's lightning. I think it's very important to have DeAndre Swift on the field. He is a rookie, but rookie running backs can make an impact very, very quick. Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Matt McAfee. These players, McCaffrey, can really bring a spark to an offense even when they're young. And I think that DeAndre Swift, immediately when he's on the field, just like Javid Best did in 2011, may I add, is going to change the defense. Kerryon Johnson, I think, is a good back. I don't think at this point in his career with the injuries that he sustained that he is a game-changing running back that's going to force defenses to pay attention to him. I do believe that DeAndre Swift is that. And I don't want to see the carries taken away. I truly, truly don't. I do believe that Bo Scarborough is a good, again, a back to relieve him, as well as we got Huntley and Ty Johnson. I think those would be fine for a number 3 and a 4. I do believe so. And to me, in my opinion, I think that would be an individual I would trade away at the trade deadline. Not now, but I think that was an individual like we did with Golden Tate and other individuals out there that we could trade at the trade deadline. And that's my opinion. And I'm curious to see, what do you guys think about that opinion?
The only thing I want to say about that is I don't know how much we could get for a Kerryon Johnson. One, because he's a running back, and running backs don't go that high. And he's injured quite often. I don't know how much we could get for him.
Okay. Yeah, that compensation would have to be correct. I'm not going to give him away for a 7th round draft pick. I think that would be kind of stupid. But that's interesting. We'll see. It's probably not going to happen. That's kind of just what I want. I see some woo in there. I see people disagreeing, but guess what? That's what it's all about. Because if we all agreed the same way, you're going to have a bad situation take place. And that is extremely crazy, like how Travis Troxell just flew off the map right there.
And I think that Travis got an early head start on Kerryon, because I have to agree with you, Mike. Kerryon Johnson has a lot to prove, in my opinion. And I know that people want to come really hard on him on Instagram and the social media feeds. And I think that's because he has a lot to prove. We moved up to draft him. He's been injured. He has not completed a full season. He's only played a max of 10 games, so a little over 50% per season. We go out. We didn't get Swift for any reason.
Yeah.
Some people might say thunder and lightning. I think replacement. That's what I think. And I feel that Kerryon Johnson is on a very short leash. One more injury, and his time in Detroit is probably over.
Hey,
Okay.
Don Burr, I do want to show you this.
You look kind of creepy.
No, because he says Truxell looks like Matt Patricia's long-lost brother on cam. LOL, hat backwards, beard and all, just needs a pencil in his ear.
And you got a tan too, Travis.
Yes, you got a tan. Eric Brenner, welcome to the chat. D-Hype, Shadow Chief, welcome to the chat. If I have not called you out, please let me know. Folks, again, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, just a little over 50 minutes, we're going to go to you for the chat, and you run the show. You ask us the question, i.e. mailbag, and we shall answer, just like a genie getting rubbed on a bottle. But we're not going to get rubbed. We're just going to speak our mind. And this is...
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, go ahead.
I was pretty upset when we traded up to get Kerryon Johnson.
So was I.
I thought when I did my own like personal scouting or whatever as a fan, I don't have access to a lot of stuff, but I really wanted to get Darius Geis. I thought he was a much better player than Kerryon Johnson was. I know they're in the same boat and they're always hurt, but I still believe Geis is a much better running back.
If healthy,
Okay.
I can 100% agree with that.
Okay.
So,
You
Durden,
know, I
feel
just
that way,
never
right?
been able.
I'm sorry, Travis. Go ahead.
Oh, I just never been able to see Darius Geis besides maybe 5 games out of the 3 years he's been in the league.
Right.
You know, where we've seen a little bit more from Kerryon. But if Darius Geis is healthy, I 100% agree with the Dern.
There's a lot of ifs in there. A lot of
if,
Yeah.
if, and
Well,
but.
it's
and
ifs for
but.
both
Could
because
feel
none of them
fish.
can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So,
true.
I mean,
It's all about the health, man. Always about the health. Steve-O, welcome to the chat. I appreciate you jumping in here. And we also got some news about Jayron Kearse. Now, if you did not hear, Jayron Kearse got suspended for the first 3 games from our Detroit Lions. And I want to hear from you, chat. Does this affect his roster spot for Detroit Lions? Do you think he now does not make the team? If he makes the team, let me know if you believe so by saying yes and for no. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. I would appreciate that. But Travis Troxell, does Jayron Kearse now not make the team due to his suspension?
Very possible. I mean, both him and Miles Killebrew do play the gunner role. So with the 3-game suspension, that could pay dividends for a Miles Killebrew making the team and possibly even taking Jayron Kearse's job.
Absolutely. What do you think about this, Dern? Do you think that Jayron Kearse now, he kind of screwed up his season by getting suspended because he's not going to be available until week 4?
right. But I don't think it hurts us much because of the depth that we acquired during the offseason.
Mhm.
Because we still have a Will Harris, we still have
Yeah.
Harmon, we still have Walker. We have plenty of guys to fill that spot. And I know he wasn't happy in Minnesota because he didn't get a lot of playing time. So him and Mike Zimmer didn't.
Mhm.
They always butted heads, but I don't know what he expects here because we have a lot of depth at the position as well.
And depth is key. And when you make a suspension like that, it seems to be death is key for him making the roster, Gridiron Blitz.
Yes, sir.
What say you, Gridiron Goku? Welcome to the chat. Kevin Cronin, Pacey Payload, welcome to the chat. Do you believe that he now has jeopardized his position on this team by getting suspended?
Mike, can I take I don't care for 200? Oh, man. What? That's still not the right man. Okay. All right. Here's what I want to know. The Lions, they knew about this. They knew about this potential before they brought him in. So we just talked about Killebrew, and I'm wondering Is that maybe because Killebrew's on his way out, or they don't have any faith in Killebrew? But this guy, that's just that's all I have to say about that. I
just laid it out there like that.
Yep, that's it, man. I really don't have any thoughts on that guy.
Look, I love how you really go in depth on there. So
thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Since this seems to be such a great question, we're just going to jump to the next one real quick. We're talking real quick. And this is about a battle that will be taking place here. And this is Hunter Bryant versus Isaac Nada for the tight end position. People may not know this, but Hunter Bryant is a rookie free agent. Isaac Nada drafted last year, 6th round, as a tight end. Travis Troxel, what do you believe about this? Who wins if they decided to go this route here with them two? Who wins?
Well, I think Isaac Nada wins the battle just due to experience and with COVID going on. And Hunter Bryant could be on the short list on the practice squad. So if anything happens, Hunter Bryant could be the first man up. There is going to be 55 people on the roster, and there's going to be, I believe, an extra 1 or 2 more practice squad players as well. So this bodes well for guys that aren't going to be able to make it, but the Lions still have faith in them to where they can go out and still, get the practice reps, dive into the playbook and things like that to be ready for next year where, hopefully we can have a real off season and, rookie program and things like that.
Folks, if you think that Isaac Nada will beat on Hunter, hit that like button. If you think Hunter will beat Nada, leave a comment. What do you think about this, Dern? Who do you think is going to win between these two?
If it's head-to-head, I would say Nada because I agree with Trox, but I think they both make it because Nada can play fullback or tight end, and I think Bryant brings a really good route running and catching ability that Nada could not bring, that I don't think the other tight ends besides Hockenson can bring as well. I think they both make the team.
Okay. The Gridiron Blitz.
Dern. Hold on, Dern.
Okay.
Dern.
Finish him.
Dern is not very high on Jesse James.
I'm not. I am not high on Jesse James.
As long as Nick Bodine still makes the team, I'm good with both Hunter and Isaac.
What does James do well for this team? He doesn't block well because he didn't last year, and he didn't get a lot of opportunity to catch the ball. So he's
a pass-catching tight end, and Hunter Bryant is way younger and can still replace him.
Okay.
I agree with Dern, MicroMike, that I like this guy, man. I like Hunter. I feel like they both make the team. I really do.
Well, very in depth there. When it comes to these two, I think that they both make the team as well, but not because of Isaac Nada as a tight end. I think that Isaac Nada. Hold on, let me get a really close up for Travis Troxel.
Look into his eye.
Isaac Nada will defeat Nick Bodine to become the individual that plays both fullback and tight end. And
man.
Then, i.e., Hunter Bryant is able to be in there as well, utilizes it as tight end to be the replacement for Jesse James. If Jesse James cannot do it again this year, Jesse James is on the hook right now. He is literally standing on a bridge with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn holding him over it. He needs to perform, and I think that Hunter Bryant could eventually be his replacement if he does not get to the quality standard that we gave him a contract to. His contract was high from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe that Hunter Bryant would be a good replacement eventually for Jesse James. And I don't think if they put him on the practice squad, another squad will pick him up and he will no longer be on the Detroit Lions.
Can I come in with an objection?
I just seen Abdul Terrell said that Jamie Collins opted out. Is this true?
I did not see that at the deadline. So maybe he was in. The deadline was 4 p.m. I don't know if it was EST or Pacific.
He was talking today in a press conference, and I did not hear him say he was opting out at all.
Neither did I. Am checking Adam Schefter. I'm going to call him up.
And I will say this with Jesse James, though, real quick. 2021 will be a potential out. His dead cap will be 4.287. And it would save us about. Let me see. What would it save us? It would save us about $5 million, I believe.
Okay. All right. Breaking news. Shout out to Abdul Terrell. It does say that this is the headline from the Detroit Free Press says Jamie Collins opt-outs still going to be a problem after deadline.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know if that. Yeah, I don't know if
nothing.
that. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
I don't
so
think
let me break this down for you. I listened to the press conference that Jamie Collins did. All he suggested is if people get sick throughout the season, people may want to opt out if their families start getting sick just because the deadline passed. That does not mean he opted out at all. That's what he was talking about. So, folks, breaking news, he did not opt out. I was there and I listened to the conversation while I was working because I'm a multi-dimensional, crazy Kool-Aid drinking, Detroit Lions loving panelist for our ISN. So no,
Jesse James, he's got to get thrown the ball more.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't put it all on him. But I think when they signed him to that contract, knowing they were going to draft Hockenson, they still didn't give him the ball like he should. But we had David Blau, we had Jeff Driscoll. You know what I mean? So I think that we got to take some off Jesse. And I think this year will say a lot about him with Matthew Stafford being back.
I'm going to go back to that. But here's my thing. Yes, we had backup quarterbacks, but Hockenson was out for a lot too. So he should have been that number one. Why was he thrown to Logan Thomas? That's all I'm going to say.
Very true. Okay. All right. Hey. Okay. All right.
What's going on?
It's okay, man.
Come on.
I do want to say one thing, though. I did see Plan B saying, don't we still have Logan Thomas? We do not have Logan Thomas. He signed elsewhere.
With the Washington football team.
Yeah, Washington football team.
I almost said it. I almost said it, guys. Oh, my gosh.
Shout out to Nomis J. I really appreciate this man in here. He is a Detroit Lions YouTuber. If you are not subscribed to Nomis J, he is one of the most humblest, truth-speaking men that I know. He's up there with TA. Please subscribe to his channel. I would love to see this man at 1K because he just said 4K. Salute to me. So hopefully we can get him to 1K. And
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Get to 1K
DVE.
because Mike Rowe is at 4K all day. I don't play until I stay at getting next to 5K, then 10K, because I'm rolling with my fellows here. I'm partnering with Chat Sports, and I'm ready to be great. Oh!
And Mike is going to start in it's 8 Mile to 9 Mile. That's going to be MicroMike.
9K mile. There we go.
The longest mile.
The longest mile. But yes, that scared everybody out there. But no significant individual for our Detroit Lions opted out. Obviously, you had John Atkins, Geronimo Allison, but who cares? Who cares? So we're just going to go ahead and go to the next question is, who is the most underrated player? I swear to God, Travis, if I hear Nick Boston throw my shoe at your head, it will.
Get ready.
Get it ready. Get it ready. Get it ready.
You already know.
I will get a Thanos portal, and it's coming at you. Who's the most underrated player on our Detroit Lions?
Number.
Oh, no.
Don't do it.
Hey, you got your shoe ready?
Don't do it.
One Mr. Nicholas
Oh,
Bodine.
No.
Like I said, folks, the most underrated player. If he can stay healthy, he can get the job done.
Oh my God.
It's official. This guy is he's obsessed.
Derek.
Derek, you want Everson Griffen. I want Nick Bodine to stay on my squad.
But Travis, Everson Griffen got a track record. This guy, I don't know what he. Oh yeah, there you go. I was looking the wrong way. This guy has a track record of injury and long hair. That's it. Everson Griffen.
Well, he doesn't have long hair anymore, though.
I know he cut it.
He cut it.
Hey, Mike,
that was for you too, by the way.
are you hearing what I'm hearing?
Man, look, I don't know what's going on, bro. All I know is this stuff is straight crazy.
There's a
with
story
Nick Bodine about
Of a
Nicky.
man named Bogdan.
Why do you think this man's underrated, Travis Troxel from Nick Bodine Sports Talk?
He is 6'3" and 245 pounds. Like, that dude is built like a tank. You could throw him at linebacker and he's gonna do the job. Like, you can't get rid of guys like that. Like, Jared Davis went from 238 pounds for his playing weight and beefed up to 245.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so I mean, he could bring so much versatility. Like, you could probably play him at linebacker. I would probably play him as a gunner, you know, a rusher, but you know, I wouldn't try him at no coverage at all. But you know,
Do you got cricket sounds, Grid?
I think Travis does.
Cricket sounds.
Travis, cue up the crickets.
I gotta give myself a
Come
cricket
on.
sound.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Dern,
Oh man.
can you put some sanity back into my brain?
I can. And
Yes.
you might like this one, actually.
Okay, it's not Nick Bodine. I'm happy.
I am going to pick Mr. Halapuluti Vati Vaitai.
Woo! I
That's what I'm
like
gonna
it.
pick.
Paludi Vaitai.
And I know we haven't seen him in a Lions uniform yet, which is fine because you will soon.
Mhm.
Because everyone is saying it was such a terrible signing because of how much we gave him. But from what I've seen and from what I've heard about a lot of analysts, they said when he filled in for Jason Peters or Lane Johnson, he filled in admirably. So he can play on the left tackle or right tackle. So tell me again how that was too much for a bona fide tackle.
I
feel like he was a steal.
Vaitai. Halabaludi Vaitai, and yes, the rumor was he got paid too much. They thought it was $50 million, but it was actually 5-year, $45 million, and it's basically a 2-year contract because he can get out of this. Why do I like it? What is the one thing he's known for, folks? Running the football. The man can run the football and block for the running back. What have we not been able to do? Run the football on the right side. We beefed up the right side. So yes, I absolutely love that pick, Dern, and that is definitely better than Nick Bodine. The Gridiron Blitz. Who is the most underrated player for our Detroit Lions in 2020?
Okay, well, I know where y'all think I would go, and I'm not going to go there.
You're not going to go Everson Griffen.
I'm not. Well, he's not on the team. I can't.
Good.
I can't. I'm not going to go, you know, my twin brother, Danny Amendola. Okay? We actually work out together. So I'm going to go with the guy who wears Everson Griffin's number in Detroit, Mr. Nick Williams.
Ooh,
I need him to be that guy. I need him to be underrated. He's had 6 sacks over his career, and they all came last year. And I need him to be underrated because we need a pass rush, and I need him to be the guy that I assume the Lions think he is, as, you know, not even, in my opinion, or to my knowledge thus far, attempting a deal with Everson Griffen. So I'm going to put it Nick. We talk on Twitter sometimes. So, Nick, this one's for you, man. Most underrated player in the 2020 season.
Okay.
Hey, I can salute that.
I love that pick because it's definitely not an individual I was even thinking of. So I hope so because it's so important to have that defensive tackle. That is how we dictate this year, folks. If we can get pressure from the interior, make sure that the quarterback cannot step up in the pocket and stop the run. That is what we failed to do. And my player revolves around that because, to me, our secondary was a lot better than we get credit for last year. And this player, to me, is a lot better than he got credit for because of the defensive line. And this is Justin Coleman. The defensive line was non-existent last year. If you have a wide receiver or tight ends, or definitely a slot receiver that is in the pocket as long as the quarterback is, it is impossible to cover that slot receiver. I played the wide receiver position, and I can tell you, if you give a quarterback 7-8 seconds, we are going to win the battle every single time because there's just so much that a corner can do. The defensive line hurt us, and I think it made Justin Coleman look bad. I believe with more pressure with the defensive line, with the interior in the outside as well, Justin Coleman will shine much better and live up to the contract that he received last year in 2019. He was known as one of the best slot corners in the NFL, and I think that Justin Coleman will show that this year because our defensive line will be much improved from last year. Not saying it's going to be the greatest defensive line, but last year we were the poorest defensive line that these eyes have ever seen. And I believe if they could just upgrade to mid-range, Justin Coleman is going to be a big-time player for us in 2020. He is the most underrated player for our Detroit Lions, giving my opinion. Folks, what is a player for you that is underrated? Let me know in the comment section. Also, hit that like button if you think that any of our players besides Nick Bodine was a underrated player, because I think there's only one individual on the planet that thinks he's underrated, and that is named Travis Troxel. I see Crimson Shadow. Welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you in a little bit, brother.
Long time
Since I've seen you, and that is absolute fact. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next question, Dern, and I'm going to have you go first. It says, who is the most overrated player in 2020 for our beloved Detroit Lions?
Y'all gonna get mad at me. I'm just gonna. I have two.
Whoa.
I'm gonna go with two. Okay. First one is gonna be Jamie Collins. Okay. I know he is probably the best linebacker on our team, but he has only played well for the Patriots, and I know we run a similar style to the Patriots, but in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, what if he turns out like he was for Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
And I know his stats were really good last year for the Patriots, but again, that's under Bill Belichick.
Okay.
So
hey,
it's just a wait and see for me.
That's actually a really good answer. Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk dropped a super chat. He says, cheers, fellas. Hope you're all well. I hope you are well, sir. And make sure you subscribe to his channel. He is a very good content creator on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. He does Patriots as well as other teams as well, and baseball.
Yeah, he's a big-time Boston fan.
He's a Boston fan and Boston. So make sure you subscribe to his channel. Shout out to you for that super chat. I truly appreciate it. Dern, I know you got to get to going. So I'm going to throw you last words for you while you say goodbye to the chat.
I still got my second one. Do you not want to hear the second one?
Hey, he got that smoke for you. Dern got the smoke today.
All right, let me say this really quick. My second one is Kenny Golladay. I'm sorry, guys. My reason is because a lot of people are treating him like he's the top 5 wide receiver.
Except Tonio. Antonio is not doing that.
I'm not thinking he's a top 5.
A lot of people are treating him that way.
Hey, I got him in the top 10.
Yeah, top 10, I agree with. But for the people that thinking he's top 5, I have yet to see that.
I don't think he's a top 5.
I do feel
Stafford fully healthy. It could happen.
I do
right now.
See, I have him in my top 10, but I do have him probably getting into that top 5 talks at the end of this year.
Maybe at the end of the year, but it was just to the people that think he's top 5, and he's just not yet.
Yeah, I agree.
Dropping the mic as usual, Dern.
Dropping the mic
as usual.
Sorry.
That's a drop the mic moment. And while it drops right there,
and double drop.
I thank you for the reasoning, because I think the mic was going to get thrown up out of my stomach onto the computer, because the disrespect this man gets seems to be insane. But what do you got to say while you leave us 3 to finish the show?
Right. Apologize for leaving again. Family duties. I just want to say this to the people that are listening. These gentlemen work so hard to bring you content. And if you like what they are doing, you should subscribe to all of them. Give this video a thumbs up. Share with your friends, family, if you like what we're talking about. It's just one community.
And one pride.
Hey,
and
Dern.
we all ride together. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum.
All right, Dern, have a good night, man.
Adios.
Have a great night.
Travis Troxel, overrated player for our Detroit Lions. While I'm looking down upon you, literally, who do you say is the most overrated player?
Hey, this time you won't hear Nick Bodine.
Okay.
But I'm going to say Trufant.
Okay.
Desmond Trufant, I believe, is very overrated. He was horrendous last year. We did pay him, I believe it was around 20 million or
I think it's 21, something like that.
yeah, it's a 2-year contract. I want to say
I
about
think it's
9
14
million.
guaranteed or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 20, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. He has to really show me. I'm not gonna say, oh, he's the worst player of them all, because I do know who MicroMike might be saying in this one. But yeah, whichever way.
Yes, whatever way. I am up like a god.
But Desmond Trufant, he has a lot to prove to me, because I do feel that he's overrated.
Okay.
Who do we have here?
We have a guy who is about to rain on my parade here in a minute, but I will go to you now, Antonio Hightower. You best not talk about Kenny Golladay, the most overrated player for our Detroit Lions. Welcome to the chat, Antonio Hightower.
Your might.
Let's go.
Looks like the world woke me up at the greatest time. Kenny Golladay question.
I knew it, man. I just knew I spoke him up, man. He's like The Grudge or something, man. Go ahead.
Man, they already knew. I had to throw out the boy Kenny Golladay.
Okay,
top 10.
You gotta explain yourself. Explain yourself.
Kenny Golladay is a reasonably overrated player. Like, first of all, he benefits from the offense. Okay. The offense gets him open. Well, other than the times Bevel will get him open, like he'll do it a couple of times. Like I think it was he had a block and release against Arizona, double move against Chicago, stuff like that. He can't create separation. He relies on contested catches, which really depends on QB ball placement. Other than that, like, Galladay's in a really good situation. And it's funny because we say that he's in a really good situation. Like, we're going, oh, man, this receiver core is really good. And Stafford is really good. And the weapons around him are really good. And the coordinator is really good. But he's top 10, though. But all those other things are true, too. Like, some got to give. He can't have all that help and then still be top 10. Also, because a lot of people go like, well, I'm going to look at them 11 touchdowns, man. I'm like, them 11 touchdowns don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
I'm not determining how good he is because of them 11 touchdowns. I'm determining how good he is because of that film. And Golladay is not top 10. He might not even be top 15.
Okay.
I made a list.
I don't even want to hear the list, man. I don't. I have been getting.
Got it.
That's right, man.
Listen,
That's right. I know your list.
This guy is a scroll, man. I keep telling y'all that. He is not of this planet. I'm trying to tell you. He walks around as a Lions fan, but he's really not.
Okay. What about you, Gridiron Blitz? Who's the most overrated player in your opinion?
Well, I hope whoever screamed back there is okay. And I would say that Mr. Trey Flowers. I'm gonna have to give it to him, man. Never have been a huge fan of him. I know he was hurt, 5.5 sacks, $90 million. I just feel like he's overrated, but I am willing to be proven wrong this year, as Trey Flowers will go and get double-digit sacks. That's what he has to do because he's the man, $90 million man. So I'm going to go with Trey Flowers.
Frog Crop dropped another super chat of $10. He says, Mike, stop letting guys talking BS. I'm not sure if that's Bravo Sierra on Kenny Golladay. Why? I agree, but I appreciate you so much, sir. It is definitely going to go back into the channel, and you are absolutely awesome, and I really appreciate everything that you're doing. I think you need to become a member of my channel, Frog Crop. I think that would be a way to go.
It would be cheaper.
It would be absolutely fun for you to get in there. But Frog Crop, I'm with you 110%. So I appreciate you so much. And I agree. I absolutely agree. Bravo, Sierra. No doubt about it when it comes to our Kenny Golladay. My overrated player for our Detroit Lions is, I think there's a couple overrated players that we look upon and say, man, I think he's a little bit overrated. And mine is Kerryon Johnson. I think he is.
You totally hit a left curve on me. I thought you were going to say, what do you call it, Christian Jones?
That guy's not overrated. You have to be rated.
Yeah.
You have to be rated. I mean, you got frozen Troxel talk right now. You're frozen in place, and it looks very funny. Got him.
What
got
in the
him.
world?
You see how the hair is to the side? It's like...
And this is not throwing shade at Kerryon Johnson. I just think that, like, even last year, if you look, when he was in the game, he wasn't as stunning as he was in his rookie year before he got injured. And I feel that DeAndre Swift is really going to bring the best out of this running game. I think DeAndre Swift is a future. I think Kerryon Johnson is not. And I think that Kerryon Johnson's a good running back. I think he's a good running back. I think he has a fit somewhere. I just think I want to see more of DeAndre Swift than Kerryon Johnson. I think that, to me, is why I make him the overrated player, while Travis Troxel falls out of this chat. So
Hey, Mike, I don't think you're going to have to wait that long to get your wish, because my prediction is an easy one. Kerryon Johnson will not finish the season. He will not play more than 14 games, and that'll be a high for his time in Detroit. So your time won't be that long. Yeah, that would be very
games. High. That would be extremely high for Kerryon Johnson.
As high as 10 currently, if I'm not mistaken. So
it's sad. It's sad because you want to see this man produce more, and unfortunately, he just hasn't. And you don't draft a DeAndre Swift early in the second round if you think Kerryon Johnson is the guy. So that's the way I'm going for it, folks. If you've not hit that like button, please hit the like button, hit the bell for all my notifications, subscribe to everybody on the channel. We appreciate you, and that's the most important part of this show, because this show is about you, not about us. It's about having fun with our Detroit Lions fans, because our Lions, let's make no mistake about it, folks, our Detroit Lions are generally not the greatest team in the NFL, so we are here to bring you that MyQuil for the pain that you feel. And the next question we're going to go to is, what team do you fear the most for the Detroit Lions in 2020? Travis Troxel of Troxel Sports Talk.
I'm going to say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just because they are loaded this year. But I think that game is going to be a real fun game. Man, I just hope we have enough firepower and defensive power to be able to stop Tom Brady, Gronkowski, and that real potent defense they had a year ago, and they actually added to it as well over this offseason. So I really hope that, we have enough power, but they still put some fear into me.
They definitely do. And I think a lot of people say they're overrated. I don't believe so. I think they're going to be a very, very good team this year.
They're going to the NFC title game.
Man, Tom Brady with that offense. And we got to talk about their defense is very scary as well. It's no joke over there. Antonio Hightower, what is a team that you fear for in 2020?
It's only the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh, okay. I could see that.
Because the New Orleans Saints is the best team we're ever going to play. They got the best roster we're ever going to play. That team is stacked. They got a great secondary. They got a great pass rush. Great O-line. It's kind of overrated. They got a good QB who's extremely overrated. They got a great receiver. Yeah. They got great receivers. It is great everywhere. And it's going to be a really testament to see how we do against a top tier, like a real contender, a real Super Bowl contender, a real playoff contender. And man, that's kind of like, it's like the barometer. The Saints game and the Packers game is where you're going to really see, how good this Lions team is.
Okay. That's a good answer. New Orleans Saints seems to always pull a win out of their sails. I mean, they put breeze. Yes, that's a good one, man. Definitely got him. There you go, man. The great got him. And what it sucks about the New Orleans Saints is they do pull a hat out of a rabbit, not the other way around. They always seem to get it. The Gridiron Blitz. What is the team that you fear in 2020 for our beloved Detroit Lions?
Well, first of all, I fear that Infinite Sports Network will not get the 5 subscribers that we need to hit 200 subs. So make sure if you have not subscribed to our main channel, Infinite Sports Network, do that. Let's get us to 200 tonight. I would say, I think fear is a strong word, but you've taken the Saints. Travis took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. We tied them last year, and those of you who know, I had a huge meltdown, and I think it was a barometer of how the season was going to go. But with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Simmons, they've been prepping for this. So I think that they're going to have a solid year, and I think that week 3, I actually fear them more than I fear the Green Bay Packers. So I think that we could get a loss in week 3. I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals is a really good pick. I think they are a dark horse team. The problem with them making the postseason is just the division they're in. But I absolutely love what they did. Curtis Schultz, welcome to the chat. Yes, in 15 minutes, get ready, folks. You guys run the show. Get your questions ready. We will pick them and let you guys ask anything you want. If you want to ask Travis Troxel why he loves Nick Bodine, go ahead. If you want to ask Antonio Hightower why he's off his rocker with Kenny Golladay, please do. And if you want to ask the Gridiron Blitz why he knows his football, make sure you do that as well. The team that I fear the most here, folks, is not one you're going to think about, but it's the Tennessee Titans. And to me, the Tennessee Titans are a scary team. Why are they scary? Because they have a great, fantastic running back in Derrick Henry. He is a bulldozer, folks. He punches through defenses. This guy is a straight monster. He is my favorite player for the last 2 years in the NFL. I've watched this man play. I told everybody that this team is one to fear in the playoffs, and they sure showed it when they just ran over the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens, and they could have got to the championship game if it wasn't for some crazy plays in 5 minutes by the Kansas City Chiefs. Tannehill is not the greatest quarterback in the world, but he's a good complement to Derrick Henry. They do have some quality wide receivers, some big wide receivers that are actually very strong and can play well against the cornerbacks that we have. That is a team that, in my opinion, is going to be a difficult game to play. They don't have all the greatest names in the world, but they do have Derrick Henry. And if you cannot stop the run, and our defensive line right now is suspect, you're going to have a hard time winning football games, in my opinion. What game or what team do you guys fear? Throw it in the chat. If you're listening to this after the fact, throw it in the comments section. Let me know what team you fear for our Detroit Lions, and we will get this thing cracking for sure. Last question before we go to the chat is a doozy, and that is this. If you could have a beer with one player, not a coach, one player on our Detroit Lions chat, get ready for this one, who would it be? Travis Troxel, Troxel Sports Talk, if you could have a beer, and it better not be Nick Bodine, because that seems to be every answer here, who would it be and why?
Okay, it is not going to be Nick Bodine.
Thank God.
But I am going to take the man who beat one Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
And that is number 9, Matthew Stafford. I want to have a beer with him. I seen him chug one of his beers when he was out and about with the family, and I was like, hey, all right, let's go. I'll do one with you like that. So, yeah, absolutely. I would love to have a beer with Matthew Stafford, and plus I want to pick his brain. I want to know, like, what he sees on the field and things like that. Like, I think that would be so interesting for me.
And that would definitely be a good one. Antonio Hightower, I think you're too young to have one, but if you can have a cranberry juice or a water with one of the players, or actually Mike will instead of your Haterade, who would it be and why?
I'm probably just gonna have to go with Trey Flowers.
Ooh, I like that one, actually. That's a good one.
Trey Flowers, best player on the roster. And I would just love to beat that guy. That guy seems like he's a hard worker. I mean, we've seen him. We've been working out for the longest. He even said a couple of months ago, like, hey, if the NFL tell me I can play, I'm going to play. There ain't no question if I'm opting out. He said that before opting out was even a thing. I already know we'll get Trey Flowers. I like Trey Flowers. You seem pretty like a pretty driven person, but you do kind of seem like a pretty chill person also. But I would just let pick that guy's brain.
I actually seen Trey Flowers up close, and he must be one of the most smoothest and relaxed human big man on the planet Earth. This guy is built like a tank, but he is as cool as a cucumber. I think that would be a fantastic individual to sit back. He's laid back. He seems like a mellow guy. Absolutely great pick there. It came out of left field. Love it. The Gridiron Blitz. What is an individual that you would love to have a beer with? We know you love beer. Matt Prater is going to supply it if he breaks the record. But who would you have and why?
Okay. Yes, I do love beer. I would actually, now this is the answer that you might have been expecting earlier, but I'm going to say, actually, Travis took my guy. It's a lot I would want to ask Matthew Stafford. So because he's gone, I will take Danny Amendola. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. This is why. Undrafted, continues to get disrespected, continues to get underestimated. And what he does, he comes out, he wins, he proves people wrong. He gets nothing but hate. When he was brought to Detroit, people hated the move. In Detroit, people still hate the move. And he does exactly what he's been doing and what we brought him here to do. So I would sit down and ask him what's his workout regimen. That's one. And then the second thing would be, how was it going through the undrafted process and how does that help him through his, over 10 year now, I think, NFL career, and how does he keep staying driven? So I would like to sit down, and he probably have a Miller 64, so I'll drink the hard stuff for him.
Hey,
Okay.
Derek, what do you call it? It's because Danny Amendola doesn't know the game of football.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. And I'd like to know how he doesn't know the game of football and why he is not a good wide receiver. Also, why, this, that, and the other.
If you haven't heard, Mike, if you like me, then you're bad. So
that's hashtag facts on facts crime. Below Zero, welcome to the chat. Thank you very much. But that 4K is all for you guys. If you've not hit that like button, please do so. Hit the bell for notifications so you can get to the live stream. The season is almost here. I cannot wait to jump into it. Subscribe to everyone on the panel and Chat Sports as we take Detroit to the next level, and that's what it's all about. If I could have a drink with the beer, first off, I think it would be Jeff Okudah just initially. This would be a quick one. And I would want to ask him why he got selected over Isaiah Simmons and how he felt about that. But the real one I would like to have a beer with is Dron Harmon. I listened to this man speak, and I'm a faith-based individual. I really am. And he seems like a very down-to-earth, faith-based guy. I'd love to talk religion with him and have a beer talking about it and hearing his insights about how he was implemented from the Patriot system into here and how he could change the culture, sitting back, kicking back, and putting down a couple. I think would be fun all around, not just talk Detroit Lions, but talk about everything else. I think I would absolutely love that. It would be fun. But my second choice would definitely be Okudah. And again, I'd say, what is your thoughts on being picked the third pick and not being the eighth pick like Isaiah Simmons? So I'd love for that to happen and see that. Folks, it is your time to ask us questions, and it's hashtag ISN to let me know if you're asking a question because it's hard for me to keep up with this. So you go ahead and ask us questions. We shall answer. You can ask us individually. You can ask us as a whole. You can ask us anything you want to ask us. It is your time. It is i.e. mailbag time, where the mail is very rail with us 4 males. So let's get it, throw it in a pail, and we're going to rail upon the questions. And that's what it's all about. So how about John Cullen, the Lions coach? How about John Cullen, the Lions coach who drove drunk through Wendy's drive-thru? That would be an interesting person to have a drink with. That would be interesting as well. Yes, that would be kind of funny. It'd be like, how did it feel to be an idiot when you're driving drunk? I would definitely do that. But here's a real question, folks. It's hashtag ISN. Saints created their own bubble in a hotel for everyone. Do you think this gives them an edge over other teams to win it all, the Gridiron Blitz? What do you think about this?
Well, shout out to Jorge. Excellent question. I think maybe not an edge to win it all, but I think it definitely gives him an edge. The NBA has had 0 cases of COVID in the bubble since they've started. So
Wow.
if the Saints did that in the hotel, I think it does. And possibly Jorge could give them the advantage, seeing as how it would be less opportunity for someone to get ill, maybe a Drew Brees. They don't have Teddy Bridgewater anymore, so they would have to go with one Jameis pick machine Winston. So I might have to agree with you, man. It might give them that chance to win it all.
It was a really good idea for them to do this, and it gives them the chance not to just to be away from the COVID, but to be even more in like a training camp mode where you're all coalesced together in the brotherhood. I don't know about you guys, but when I play the game of football, it's always nice to get that brotherhood feeling surrounded by your fellow teammates and to feel like you're one instead of just a multiple. So that could be utilized that for that stance. What say you, Travis?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and I wouldn't mind seeing something like that across the league. You know, if they're going to be playing games and things like that, and there's going to be traveling, I definitely would love to see all teams, you know, take that same initiative and try to stop the spread of COVID like that, you know, with putting a bubble at the hotel.
John Kapler, this is interesting. I actually made a video that is in my archives about should we take Penny Sewell, left tackle out of Oregon. He is the best left tackle in this draft. And if we got him, that means we're at the top of the draft, and I would be very, very upset about that. But if we were not to be taken to court, if we suck this year and we're a top 5 draft pick and there's no quarterback to take at all, yes, I think I'm going to take the best tackle or the best interior defensive lineman or edge. But definitely left tackle would be on there because you don't know what they're going to do with Taylor Decker. Love the question. I'm going to do this one here to Antonio Hightower from Crimson Shadow. He says, if football is canceled, how are we going to handle the 2021 draft? By taking positions we had in 2020? Or it'll take another besides the number 3 spot? What do you think about this, Tone? Because I think you have a good answer in regards to if there is no season, where we pick in the draft and how it will affect the NFL.
So a lot of people actually have been talking about this. Some people said maybe we should do like a lottery style draft like the NBA, because you can't just really re-roll it. Because there are some because it's going to be like unfair. Because there's going to be teams like the Bengals and the Redskins and the Giants who need another pick like this. Then it's going to be teams like the Chargers and the Lions who do not need a pick like this. It's just going to be unfair. The Lions get another top 3 pick. Woo, just pencil us in for being a perennial playoff contender. Also, it depends if first of all, do we get a college season? Yeah. And I already know some guys ain't opting out. If you ever heard, the top linebacker in the draft from Penn State, I forget his name. He just opted out. He was probably going to be a top 10 pick. A lot of players that especially have stable draft positions are already opting out. If we get a college football, because I'm wondering if we don't get college football, will they still have the draft?
That's an interesting question. I was actually listening to Mel Kiper the other day, and he was talking about how are you going to draft these players? Because just because you did well as a junior, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to reflect well as a senior. And he was talking about the opposite situation with Joe Burrow, who he was be a 5th-round pick last year, but this year he was the 1st overall pick. So you have to judge tape from the non-senior year if there is no season. So that is an absolutely great question to ask Antonio Hightower in regards to what would happen. I'm not 100% sure. I think if we were a top 5 draft pick, the 3rd pick in the draft next year, in my opinion, I would take a quarterback. I don't care. I think at this point, if you're the 3rd pick in the draft again, and just take the quarterback, because Matthew Stafford then will be 34, 35. He broke his back 2 years. Yes, he would have a year to heal, but what are the odds that you're going to have a top 5 draft pick again to get a quarterback? That's just my opinion. I could be right or wrong. It doesn't really matter. But that is something you have to think about for sure. Let's see. There was a question I accidentally kicked off it, and I apologize for that. But the Gridiron Buns, he said, first off, welcome to the chat. It says, who do you see doing the best at quarterback position if Stafford tests positive for COVID before the season starts.
Me?
Yeah.
Because I mean, Chase was on the street. I'm on the street. Hey, you see the connection there? Hey, the Gridiron Blitz, man.
Oh man, we're going to be in for some trouble if Stafford cannot play. Either it be COVID or any other issue, and we are in for some trouble. It looks like Infinite Sports Network need one more sub to get to 200. If you've not subscribed to ISN, do so. That's where all our content goes, archived content, and I will be doing live stuff on there. I have
Original
it planned
programming
out.
coming soon.
This week has just been insane amount of work, and I do not have the ability to do that as of right now. But that is definitely a great question. I'm trying to find the question that I accidentally kicked off. Here it is. It says, what is the strongest link on this team, and what is the weakest link? Love this question. The strongest link on this team, in my opinion, is the wide receiver position. The wide receiver position is just, we don't have the greatest wide receivers in the NFL, but our depth is just intense great. I mean, you got Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones Jr., Danny Amendola, and Marvin Deep Ball Hall, and Cephas, who we drafted. To me, that's an insane amount. I think if there's an injury, you can immediately plug one of these players in and they can help out. We don't have the greatest player. It's not like we have a number one stud. You know, we don't have the guy that you would say is the best guy. We don't have the Calvin Johnson in the NFL, but the depth is intense. And to me, depth is very important. And I think the depth there is extremely important. The weakest by far, the defensive line. I got to see improvement. Yeah. I don't care what they did so far. To me, it's the biggest question mark for this team. We still, in my opinion, need to add depth at the defensive tackle position. I think we still need to, I wouldn't mind getting depth at a defensive end position. After last year, you have to prove it to me on the field for this line. That was atrocious. I understand there's injuries, but you have to prove it before I can say that. What say you, Travis Troxel, the greatest and the worst?
I 100% agree with you, Mike. That was, I mean, you know, you look at our, what do you call it? But I'm going to, just to switch it up, I will say the running back position is probably one of our strongest links. And our weakest links, backup quarterback.
Okay. Good. I like it. And why is that?
You had a chance to get Cam Newton, and you didn't. You went and got Chase McBurger Daniels. Shout out to the Gridiron Blitz for coming up with that name. That was a picture perfect name, Chase McBurger Daniels.
Yes.
Yeah, that refers to him flipping burgers, being on the street, which is nothing wrong with that. But they got a quarterback that was flipping burgers on the street and beat us within 10 days, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, he is no, what do you call it, Kurt Warner at all. So those of you that think that, oh, well, he could be the next Kurt Warner and the Lions got him. No.
There's not a single person that wears and bleeds the Honolulu blue that thinks he's the next Kurt Warner.
I just want to make it clear, man. That's all.
Antonio Hightower, what say you the greatest strength and the greatest weakness for our beloved Detroit Lions?
Number one, strongest link got to be secondary.
Okay.
That is
very
easily
strong.
the strongest.
Yep.
It's easily the strongest thing on this team. Like the amount of starting depth at secondary. Secondary goes 5 or 6 deep just at corner alone. You have so many safeties. Even if we have some undrafted free agents who can push for safeties. Mm-hmm. Especially, I really like Bobby Brown from Norfolk State. That dude is an athletic monster. If you haven't seen his athletic stats, just look up his RAS. That dude, he got similar athleticism to like a Derwin James. He just kind of, I want to say unpolished, but we ain't really seen no film of him. He came from an I think it was an HBCU. Yeah, it's got to be the secondary is the strongest, and the weakest link on this team, it's got to be the linebackers.
Yeah, that's weak. That is weak.
It's got to be the linebackers. Other than Jamie Collins and Jelani Tavai, it's really just, it's got a lot of solid guys. Mm-hmm. But at least with the D-line, I know there's some guys who can do really good. Like Julian, a rookie, can be a really good pass rusher. Trey Flowers, we already know is really good. we already know that Deshaun Hand is really good if he stays healthy. The linebacker core has the opposite problems. Like, man, we don't have anybody we can count on being really good other than Jamie Collins. It's just a lot of guys who will be solid, but
I'm going to do a lateral pass to the Gridiron Blitz. What say you?
Okay, everybody took. I'm just going to go like the whole squad, man. So I'm going to say the strongest is the offense and the weakest is the defense. I mean, our offense is stacked, and I think that was the only reason we were in so many games. I mean, we had a lot of pieces go down. We had Marvin Jones go down, Kerryon Johnson, as usual, go down. But I think the defense overall was, so I think the strongest link, I know as we doing like, everybody's been saying positions, but I'm just going to go with the defense as the weakest link. And if I had to pick, I'm like, I have no faith in the pass rush whatsoever. So, Austin Bryant is back on a injured list, if I'm not mistaken. And I just have no faith, man. So if I had to pick one inside the defense, I would say the defensive line. But hey, Mike Daniels is still available, by the way. So
that's fine. He can still be available. I don't want that man on this roster. Jorge says this. I'm going to throw this to the Gridiron Blitz. I know exactly what he's going to talk about. He says, panel, if Patricia gave you a call, what would be the first question you would ask him? Gridiron Blitz, I have a sneaking idea. I know what it is, and I want to see a rant.
I'm going to let you go first because I'm actually going to prove you wrong. It's not what you think.
Oh, I was waiting for the rant. Okay, Travis Troxel.
Well, I do want to say one more thing about the last question, and that would be also punter. Punter is one of the weakest links. Who's our punter?
I'm just glad we didn't get Camden.
So, what about this question, Trox?
The first question I would ask Matt Patricia if he gave me a call would be, can ISN see you on the field after the game and ask you some questions and interview you?
Travis.
Okay.
I like it, Travis.
I see that. That's a good one. Antonio Hightower, what say you? What is a question that you would ask Matt Patricia if you had a chance to talk to him on a cell phone?
After that 13-12-1 season, that 3-12-1 season, and some fans calling for your job, how did you feel about that? What was your confidence like in yourself coming back the next season and knowing you got another chance, even though I don't think the roster's that good? Ooh. But yeah, that's the question I would have to ask him.
Oh, that is a good one. Okay, Gridiron Blitz, you're coming at me with something interesting.
Yeah, you were going to say it was what?
I was going to say, why is Everson Griffen on the team?
Yes, I knew you were going to say that. What I would say, honestly, is you said if I could ask him one thing, I would ask him, were you telling me the truth when you said you wanted Everson Griffen on the team? So it was close, Mike. It was close. But no, honestly, I would ask him honestly, really, how did you feel when a DoorDash guy came up to your house, which would be me? So and what made you come outside? Because he didn't have to do that. So I would really, I would ask for a picture as well. But that's what I would do if I got to talk to him on the phone. Like, what made you could have stayed in the house and not did anything, but you decided to come out and say hello, knowing I was going to geek out, but you did it anyway. So yeah, That's what I would do. And get a Twitter to get a Twitter.
Crimson Shadow put an interesting question in here while Travis Troxel goes in and out. I could have done a comment, but I decided to stay.
Glad you didn't, Mike. I'm glad you didn't, man.
He says, are you guys hoping the Lions fail this year? I know Mike answers because I know a lot of guys who want Quinn and Matt gone just that bad. No way I don't want them to fail. No, man. I'm going to tell you something about winning. I want to win. And I want to win now. That's it. I have seen losing so much time in my life. I want to see wins. I don't hate that. Why would I, just because someone may not like Matt Patricia, want him to fail? Ain't no way. I want them to succeed. I want Bob Quinn to succeed. I want Matt Patricia to succeed. I want Jeff Okudah to succeed. I want DeAndre Swift to succeed because I do know football and they need to bring us a playoff victory. No way. I have no vendetta. I would love Christian Jones to succeed, and I don't like him. Why? Because I want my team to win. The city of Detroit deserves it. The state of Michigan deserves it. Every single person that's been wearing the Honolulu blue and silver for years past, we got 40, 50, 60, 70, 80-year-olds who love this Detroit Lions team. They have not seen victories. They deserve it. The city deserves it. The legacy media deserves a middle finger. I don't care who is at the helm. I don't care if a player I don't like. I want them to win.
Boom.
All right. Now, I'm going to come in
Drop
there.
the mic with that one.
Listen, Shadow, you know I love you, bro. But that would be the equivalent to tanking. And that is not something that I believe in at all. So if you guys know, I had a fit when everybody wanted us to tank with the Green Bay game. And I just think that that's a disgusting thought, knowing it's how this city, and yes, I do live in the state of Michigan and very close. I was born and raised in the city of Detroit. I am not a suburban guy, okay? And we work very hard for what we have. And winning would do so much for the culture and for the surrounding area. So absolutely, I don't want anybody to fail at all.
I'm actually kind of happy that Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are back for another year because, real talk, if you look back at the last two off seasons, we've been bringing in quality players. You know, now is our time to actually show that we have the quality players.
Yes, absolutely. I wanted him fired, but as soon as they brought him back, I was 100% behind him. Want to know why? Because I'm 100% behind my Detroit Lions. I've been a Lions fan since birth. I was too young to see the last playoff win. That was 1991. I was 6 years old. I'm 35. I want to see a winner. I am tired of being a joke. I'm tired of being a laughingstock. I'm tired of the fan base being a laughingstock. I'm tired of seeing the Lions always in the bottom of the polls. I'm tired of seeing they're going to go 5 wins. They're going to go 4 wins, 3. I'm tired of it. I hate losing. I love winning because that's all we do here in ISN is win and defeat the competition. You ain't our way. We're going to run you over. And that's the bottom line. And that's what I want Detroit Lions to do. Run anyone in their path over and make them dust. Tone, what say you?
All right, so this is a difficult question for me because I want another top 10 pick.
Oh my God! What are you talking about, Tone? Explosion! No! Stop it, Antonio. What?
But I also realized the situation we're in. Stafford is kind of getting older.
Still in his prime.
Contracts is kind of getting up there. What I believe, I feel like this team overachieving earlier in the decade has really hurt them over time, and specifically in the draft.
Man,
not getting top tier talent. You know, getting a guy like Tiller Decker, but then man, imagine we had Ronnie Stanley.
I told you, man. I told you he's a scroll, man. That's why he's not showing his face because it's green.
Yeah, especially earlier in the decade.
It would be nothing in a green screen.
Yeah.
Early in the decade, I really didn't want the Lions to. I was like, yo, can y'all stop trying to win for a while and just try to, rebuild to the draft?
You know what, Tone? I got to come in, bro. Tone, you're a young man. You're a young man. He feels like he has time. Dude, I'm 40. I got a ball spot. I got my hair is receding. I'm running out of time, man. I want to see my team win. I guarantee you, if Tone was 40, he wouldn't. You see, he's all like, yeah. I wanted them to tank. What are you talking about? No, because the last time they won, when they won a playoff game, Antonio, you weren't even born, bro. And I was going to middle school. Like, no, that's the last time. Travis was 4
years old.
And now he's got a child who's older than that.
And I got gray hair.
So no, man. No, I'm sorry, bro. We don't have the time, Mike.
The last time the Lions won a playoff game, the first Gulf War took place.
Wow.
No, think about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Bush Sr. was the president at the time. That's what we're talking about, guys.
Yep.
That's
Here's
insane.
a good question from Crimson. He says, say we do lose Matt Patricia. Here's a twist. Who's the coach you don't want as a coach for the Lions? Mine is Jeff Fisher. There's many coaches I wouldn't want.
That is facts.
That's like huge.
Sure, there's many coaches I wouldn't want for the Detroit Lions. There's I don't even know how many to count. There's a ton. Rod Marinelli, I don't want him.
Oh wait, we already had him.
Don't want him. That you can go ahead and go there. There's a lot of people, man. I think McDaniels. I wouldn't want him from the.
Oh God, he's a quitter. No,
I don't want McDaniels. There's a couple people out there. I think the question would be, who would you want to get, more or less? Let me see here from Jorge. Do you think the ownership, coaches, players, staff, etc., have the heart to win that you fans do? Gridiron Blitz. Now, this is interesting because you are the older one on the panel. Do you believe that these guys have the heart to win for our fan base? Because you've been here for a long time, man.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Long time.
Yeah, I have one hair on my head for every year. That's it. I'm looking like Charlie Brown at this point.
Hey guys,
Hey you guys.
Jorge is okay. Are we talking about guys? Because I can't see the question for some weird reason. There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
You got to open your old eyes.
I do. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna need some
glasses.
glasses.
Get some readers.
I think a little bit of each. Jorge, first of all, shout out to Jorge. Wonderful man.
Yes,
designs our logos. Always make sure we have questions. Follow his lead, all right? Give us some questions. I think that I'm going to say no, that they don't. But I will say this. I think Matthew Stafford does. Otherwise, he would have tried to force his way out of this city, like a Jamal Adams, like an Antonio Brown did before that. And some of these guys have won before, so they don't know what years and decades and soon to be centuries of losing feels like. So I don't think anybody can compare it to a MicroMike or a Troxel Sports Talk or a Noble Sports Entertainment, things like that. So I'm going to say no, but I think we can get there.
Yes, I think that would be a legitimate answer for that question. Martel Melton, welcome to the chat. Just got in here a little bit late, and that's okay because late is better than never. If you are listening to this after the fact, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell me, do you think that the Lions ownership is a winner such as us, the fans out there? And I'm not going to do that question that emoji as well as Avatar Antonio T asked. Why? Let's see here. Let's go to the one below it. It says, do you guys really think the change in leadership really matters? Because all I see is just another Ford. All I see is that is who the leader is. And no matter who is the leader, I am going to follow the leader until that leader is no longer in power. Because I don't care what direction they go. You go left, you go right. Follow the leadership. You're going to ride or die with that individual. When I commanded soldiers in the Army, as I was a truck commander, and I had individuals underneath me, even though I was not in the greatest relationship with individuals higher ranked than me in leadership positions, I followed them left or right. It didn't matter where they go. I would follow them to the death because that is the direction they wanted to go, and I must follow. So in my opinion, until we have another individual running this team, I will follow her until she no longer is in leadership position. Travis Troxel, what do you say about that?
I mean, I'm gonna trust Sheila Ford until she proves otherwise. I mean, we have to give her the benefit of the doubt because we don't know what she's brought to the table yet. I mean, she's worked underneath her mom, but we've never seen her in full on action. We've seen what the Martha Fords have done. We've seen what the William Clay Fords done. We have not seen what Sheila Ford has done, and I'm actually kind of excited to see what she brings. Is it going to be a no nonsense atmosphere where, hey, you're going to do your job or you're going to be gone? Yes, that is the Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn philosophy. Do your job or you're going to be gone. Tight lip type stuff. Like, I want to see stuff like that. And, if she doesn't, I want to see, bottom line, I want to see a winner. And until she has proven that she cannot win, I'm going to back her up.
You play to win the game.
Facts.
And folks, in 11 minutes, there's going to be a sweet stream on the DB room with our former head coach, Caldwell. So make sure when this is over to jump over there.
Shout out
Brandon
to
Kenney says,
Quinn.
Lions play Bucks late in the year. Do y'all think we are playing against Tom Brady or one of their backup quarterbacks? Tom Brady, I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady is definitely going to be their quarterback, and we're going to have to face him, Gridiron Blitz.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Tom is a warrior. Hasn't been injured a ton in his career, and if he is injured early, he's going to do whatever it takes to get back to finish the season, and hopefully, in his eyes, lead his team to the playoffs. So, absolutely. And I would be disappointed if we don't get to see Tom Brady, because I know at that point the Bucs will be at their best, and that's who I want to see the Lions beat. I want to see the Lions beat teams at their best. Even though Aaron Rodgers is getting old and I can't stand him, I still want to see the Lions beat him, because when he walks himself off that field, we beat him. We didn't beat a lot of our wins a couple years ago came against when he went down. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with this. I want wins that mean something, because that's what they said about Coach Caldwell. He couldn't beat the good teams. So I want to beat the good teams and the good players.
And I want to see those likes get up there. So if you've not hit that likes, please do so. And let me know in the comment section if this is after the fact. What do you think about that? Gridiron Blitz, here's a question. Will Okudah have at least 2 picks this year? Because I think he will get targeted a lot as a rookie. Do you think he could get 2 interceptions?
I do. And I feel like he's that good that he can. And I also feel like we're kind of due for some. And I think that the commenter hit it on the head. Even though he's good, he was 3rd overall, I think that he is going to get picked on. And some quarterbacks are going to try to do it. And when they do, I think he can secure at least 2 picks.
Okay. What say you, Antonio Hightower? Do you think Jeff Okudah can get 2 interceptions while Travis Troxell disappeared?
Musical camera.
I know. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he probably can. Especially it depends how good Trufant is, because Trufant is really good, and he plays like the number 1 corner on the team. Ooh, Okudah's. I don't expect that, but Okudah would really be getting targeted. Especially we're playing against a lot of really good wide receivers this year.
Yeah,
like a lot of top receivers like Allen Robinson, Adam Thielen. We play against most of the top 10 receivers, even though we don't have one. But yeah, I definitely could think he can get the 2 interceptions, especially because he got really good ball skills.
Crimson Shadow, and this is going to be the last question because I want to make sure that everybody gets ready for a really cool interview. He says here, do you think the Bills are now a greater threat in the AFC with Allen and Diggs? I see as a sleeping monster. I do see that the Buffalo Bills, especially with all the opt-outs that took place in New England, I think it's a conspiracy. I think they're trying to get the top pick. I'm not going to lie, man. The amount of opt-outs that happen is just insane. But yes, to me, they're definitely the best team in that division. Travis Troxell from opting out of this chat a couple times. What do you think?
Hey, I first of all, I want to say I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. It must be wild cable. It literally will have you sitting on top of the refrigerator saying, wow, this is trash. But
Xfinity.
Hey, I am going to go pay whatever dues I have to pay and go get Xfinity back. Shout out to Xfinity. But as far as the Bills, I definitely think that they're one of the most underrated teams this year. With Josh Allen and now not Quandre Diggs, but Stephon Diggs. They also have who's their running back? I think it's not Singletary. It is it Montgomery? No, Montgomery's in Chicago. Singletary. I think it is Singletary. I mean, they got a nice young squad, and I mean, why not? Why not be able to go deep in the playoffs? You got guys that can, take the top off the defense. You can, you got a run game and, a very solid defense. I don't see why not they can make playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs.
Folks, we're getting a surge now in people entering the chat. And so sometimes this happens. So we're going to keep going until that surge stops, because why not? Let's get those thumbs up. So we're going to go into overtime. If you can't make it, panelists, I can understand, but I am gonna ride the wave while this wave is hit. So, yes, keep going those questions. Who's the best receiver in the NFL? Okay.
Oh, boy, okay. Yeah, that's you know what? Let's do that. Let's switch it to
That is
NFL.
a good question.
That is a
Antonio,
really good one.
throw this to Antonio Hightower. Who is the best wide receiver in the NFL?
It's got to be the. I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
The man
like
is
that.
the man is a monster. He can run with the ball in his hand. Amazing at that. And great at tracking the ball. Has vice grip like hands. He catches everything. You throw it near him, he's gonna catch it.
Mhm.
Amazing route runner. Separates all the time. Insanely physical. Even guys like Stephen Gilmore don't press him. That's how physical he is. When the best press man corner in the league literally says, "I'm not gonna press that guy." Because he got super strong hands. It's probably got to be DeAndre Hopkins. That man is a monster, and he succeeded without elite quarterback play, which all elite receivers do. Is not something that Kenny Golladay was restricted to. So yeah, it's probably I'm gonna have to go with DeAndre Hopkins.
No, Mike,
DeAndre,
since we in overtime, man, can I come in and kind of ruffle it up a little bit?
we are gonna ruffle the feathers right now since this is the overtime show.
All right.
Go ahead, Derek.
Well,
Go ahead
I'm
and
not going to
ruffle
ruffle like that, but I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
The opt-out period came and went. We didn't lose anyone major. How do you guys feel about that? Did you expect any major Detroit Lion to opt out? I know we were talking about Marvin Jones. How are you guys surprised by that?
I am surprised by that. Because he's such a family man. If you know anything about Marvin Jones out there, if you're a Detroit Lions fan, he is one of the biggest family men out there. And to me, I thought that he would opt out, but I'm very happy that he didn't. And I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought that maybe I was kind of hoping Christian Jones would opt out. Not for the.
Hey, that means you got to deal with him for one more year then.
Well,
Absolutely.
hopefully, look, man, I have, if he can outperform my expectations, which is not that high, I would absolutely love it. So I hopefully that he can do so. What about you, Travis Troxel from Sports Talk?
I am surprised about Marvin Jones Jr.
What?
I am-
Travis is green. Travis is the scroll. He's been revealed.
I don't know what's going on.
Just keep
Wow.
going. Don't worry
I'm
about
gonna
it.
get
Travis.
exactly. We're gonna ride it out. Now I am surprised about Marvin Jones Jr. But then, in the same token, I'm glad. We actually have a fairly healthy team and a full-on team, and I'm excited about that. If you're not excited about that and you're a Detroit Lion fan, something wrong with you because, man, we while you got the New England Patriots opting out from left and right, and this team opted out left and right. I mean, the Chicago Bears, they lost, Eddie Goldman. They and the Green Bay Packers lost who was their star guy that they just signed?
Don't
Devin
worry about
Funchess?
it, man.
Huh?
Devin
Funchess.
Funchess.
Oh yeah, Devin Funchess. And they're also low at wide receiver, so that's really gonna hurt them.
Trav, that's their fault. That's
Hey,
their
I
fault.
mean-
They went and got Jordan Love. You know what I mean? So
But hey, I'm all for it though. So
Yeah.
that could actually really help propel us into the playoff pictures, maybe even division title. So I'm excited for stuff like that. We are fairly healthy. Our guys are getting off that that COVID list, and they didn't opt out. Salute Detroit Lions, and from the ownership to coaches to front office down to the players and bubble players. Salute. That is awesome.
Folks, if you could please hit that like button and hit the bell for all the notifications. When you hit that like button, it propels the video to via algorithm on YouTube, and it helps bring the content out there. I truly would appreciate it. I see we have 175 in the chat. Thank you for hitting that algorithm,
Awesome.
folks. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yes, Eric Brenner, he says keep sharing. So please do so. Fire. Yes, and Travis went out again, just like a light bulb. If you are Quinn and team fails because of coaching, would you fire Matt Patricia there, Derek P. Fields?
he had to put it on coaching. So, I mean, I think that's an easy answer. Jorge, if it's because of coaching, yeah, you got to fire the man. But I don't think that's going to be the case. And I made a video about this. I believe that they're going to be around for a minimum of 2 years. The new owner, Sheila Ford, has a lot of faith. They made the decision to keep both of those gentlemen as a family. So it wasn't just Martha's decision. It was the eventual successor, Sheila, and the rest of the family. So I honestly can't believe I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stick by it. If they need to stay, they need to stay. You got to build. Caldwell, shout out to Jim Caldwell. He had 4 years. Schwartz had 5. You got to give the man at least 4. That's what I believe.
And it depends what we're talking here about losses. If we just missed the postseason and we're a 9-10 win team, I'm not in the business of firing. If we go 4 wins and Matthew Stafford was the quarterback for 16 games, he needs to go. And to me, that's a hashtag facts. And I don't know the Gridiron Blitz. I don't know. I see. Yes, folks, how do we got only 52 likes and we got 194 in the chat? Hit the like button. Smash it. Like
Let's
Hulk
go.
smash. Smash that like button. Pound it. If you smash it, I will go crazy. Let's get 194 likes in there. That's insane. I love hitting it. I appreciate it. And that is absolutely fantastic. So please do so. Bro, let's see here. I'm trying to see some questions here. Throw some questions in there, folks. Only 50 likes. Yes, that's not good. Yes, smash the like button. I'm trying to see some questions here, so please. Here we go. The thing that makes Hill so good is how he affects the defense. If you don't have a deep safety, it's over. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Hill is underrated route runner. Tone, you went explain to the for.
I know when we was talking about Tyreek Hill, somebody asked if Kenny Golladay was top 10. I was just like, no. That's why I said,
Okay, good answer, huh?
Yeah, I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
Will we have what do you think the odds for the entirety of the NFL season are?
The entirety of the NFL season, I am going to give that a 50% chance. I do not believe we're going to have an entire NFL season. I think that there could be, if you look at what MLB happened here, specific teams such as the Florida Marlins, they actually had to cancel a bunch of games. And so I think it's very possible that occurs to our beloved Detroit Lions and hurt us when it comes to the NFL. And I don't think it's fair to cancel one game in the NFL without canceling the rest. It doesn't seem fair to me. So I think that if you see a couple teams that started picking up COVID, maybe they cancel the week. What do you think about that, Travis?
I do think that there's going to be the entirety of the season. There's way too much money involved. You're talking about a multi-billion-dollar betting industry, let alone a multi-billion-dollar, franchises around the league. So I absolutely think that the entire NFL will happen.
Okay. And here's a great question here from Plan B. It says, Patricia was to be fired. Would you like to see us put Bevel in his place or hire outside the lines organization? If Matt Patricia was fired during the season, it was an in-firing during the season, yes, I'd like to see Darrell Bevel. If it was firing after the fact, I'm not 100% sure. I think at this point, if we fire Matt Patricia, I think the season would have been a collapse. And I think at that point, you may have to start over. Like if we go to 3 wins and there's no excuse for the 3 type of wins, I said, yes, do that. But hit that like button. I'm only seeing 50. I don't know how it's possible. I see 194 in the chat. Let's get 52 likes up. But what say you, Gridiron Blitz? If they fire Matt Patricia, do you want to see Darrell Bevel or do you want to see someone else?
I agree with you 100%, Mike, about the interim of the coach being Darrell Bevel. I would like to see someone new. I was very huge on Mike Vrabel, even though he had no head coaching experience at the time. I just felt something from him that I didn't get from Matt Patricia. So I would say who that guy would be, I don't know as of yet. There's a lot of potential candidates, but I would love to see. I wouldn't mind seeing the interim be Darrell Bevel.
Okay, for sure. Antonio Hightower, What do you say upon this? So I know you're a very patient individual, and you've talked and stressed patience in regards to the coaching staff. What do you believe about this?
So if Patricia to be fired, especially during the season, I would like them to put Bevel in that position. But for him to become the new coach overall, like if there was a list of head coaching candidates for me, he would be the total bottom of the list.
Okay. No, I totally get it.
I gotta get used to it, man. That's all.
I totally get it because I feel like, look, if it's not a mid-season, I want it must have been a bad year because I want a total rebuild at that point. I'm ready to get a quarterback, start fresh, and start over because that means if they fired Matt Patricia, it was a very bad year because I think it's going to take a bad season, 6 wins, 5 wins, 4 wins for that to occur or something less for Matt Patricia to get fired. And if he got fired, I'm ready to start over. I'm ready for a whole new.
Hey, Mike, I got to put a twist on that, man.
Yes, sir.
I really do because we got. Speaking of Caldwell, he's on right now. We got rid of him. Now you just used the term total rebuild.
Yes.
That's tough for me, man.
I know it's tough for me too.
Yeah, that's tough for me because Patricia got his guys, his words, not mine. He put him. He told me that. And he's been in here 3 years. They had the chance to fire him after a 9-win career as a head coach. And then now after that, you get rid of 9 and 7. We didn't beat the good teams.
Yes.
Now we have a total rebuild.
Yes.
I just said before, man, I'm 40, bro.
Yes,
so
I know.
How is that? That's obviously not acceptable as a Lions fan.
This is not what I want. But the reasoning behind this is if Patricia got fired, we're probably going to have a top 5 draft pick. If you have a top 5 draft pick, you're going to take a quarterback. And if you're going to take a quarterback, you might as well do a complete and utter rebuild because Matthew Stafford would be 35 with 2 broken backs, a bad season. You're not going to build a team upon that. He's not going to last until he's 40. He's had 2 broken backs, guys.
Not here he won't. Yeah.
Yeah, so he won't hear. So if we're going to do that, let's just start completely over. And I don't want that to occur. I definitely don't want that to occur. But with that said, I'm not ready to put a Band-Aid on something that's cut. Do I believe that's going to happen? No. I do believe the Lions will compete this year. That is the only way I would say no if we did really bad is if Matthew Stafford got knocked out of week 1. You know, something bad happened to him, and it was definitely not on the schedule. That occurs. Man, I'm still mad that they didn't get a backup quarterback. That'd be worthy. But at the same time, you lose Stafford, it's going to be very difficult. Please hit the like button, folks. 52 likes. I don't get it, man. 184 are in the chat. It's crazy. Sometimes it just out of nowhere, people blow up, and it gets this thing going. So I see.
Well, I mean, if you put in the right amount of work, you know.
Hey, it's all about working hard. And this comes from Nomis JTV. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, a Detroit Lions YouTuber, a humble man as well. He says, do you believe Will Harris makes a big jump this year? Great question. Absolute great question. I believe he makes a jump. Why do I say he's going to make a jump? Because he's going to be a backup. He got thrusted into the starting role last year. That was not good. He was not ready. He makes a jump because he's going to learn behind 2 very good safeties. What's for you, Travis?
I definitely think Will Harris is going to make the jump. Yeah, I mean, man, you got Deron Harmon, you got Tracy Walker, and you got Will Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Will Harris and Tracy Walker is going to be a very dynamic duo. And then at your corners, you're going to have Amani Oruwariye and Jeffrey Okudah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a nice corner, safety, defensive back group. You know, young, hungry, ready to rock and roll. So absolutely, I think Will Harris is going to make that jump this year.
What about you, the Gridiron Blitz? What do you think about Will Harris? Can he make that jump and hopefully at some point be an integral part of this defense? Because we did not draft this guy to not play at all.
Yeah, I can't remember. What round was he?
I think
Third.
Round, yep.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. I think he will make it. But like Travis was saying, he's got. I really like Harmon, man. I really do. So if he's given the opportunity, I believe he will.
Okay, what say you, Antonio Hightower?
I definitely think Will Hurst is going to make the jump. I liked him coming out of college. He was slightly played out of position last year. I think this year he's going to be more tuned to his position, especially with Harmon there to take over at deep safety. Let Tracy Walker play like the roamer, and Will Hurst can be in the box. I think he's going to take a jump. The question for me, how big is the jump is he going to take? Because if he can get anywhere near where he could be, then this defense as a whole will be greatly improved.
He says there's usually over 200 likes in this one, and there's 51. I don't know what happened, man. I can't tell you. I am not in control of YouTube. I don't know what happened. You let me know if you figure it out. Tell these guys to hit that like button because you guys run the channel. Okay, I just got one there, so that's one. So now we have 53.
Hey,
1 through 10.
that one new thumbs up. You're definitely a goat for that one. Appreciate it.
This dude has a goat sound in his.
Got him.
I see you, man.
Don Stradamus, also known as Don19, he says 1 through 10. How confident are you in this offensive line? Are you in regard to what I think they're going to be? I'm confident they'll be a around a 11-10 offensive line. I'm confident about a 9. I think that's where they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be the most dominant line, but they were last year. They were at 11. I think we upgraded this year, so I'm pretty confident that's what they're going to be. Am I confident to be a top 5 offensive line? That would be a 2. I don't think that's going to be the case. What about you, Gridiron?
Yeah, I'm not. I have to see the 2 rookie offensive linemen until we can stop people like Everson Griffen on a regular basis. Other defensive, so to give him a number, about 6, man. I feel like about a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Antonio Hightower, what say you when it comes to this offensive line? 1 through 10.
Great question. A great answer, Antonio.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes. He's always on it, man.
So 1 through 10, I probably had to go with a good 8.
Okay. Yep. About with me. There we go.
My main question first of all, it's kind of health. How is Joe Dahl going to look coming back?
Okay.
Because Joe Dahl surprisingly was actually really good last year, especially as a pass blocker, which it makes sense. This makes sense what happened with him out of college. He would be a better pass blocker than run blocker. But him, Jonah Jackson, I think Ragnow is going to take the next step and become a better pass protector. Taylor Decker, the criminally underrated left tackle we have, who is above average.
He does pick up a lot of penalties, though.
Yeah, but even last year, he had 8. 4 of them were in the Cardinals game, so he had 4 in 15 games. That's pretty impressive. Well, 4 in 14 games. That's pretty impressive. I'm gonna have to give it an 8. My real question would be, first of all, Dahl's health. At some point do you play Sternberg? Because I don't think he should play. I don't think he should play this year. I think he should play next year. How does Bo look? Because he, especially after losing Russell Bodin, he's probably the de facto backup center now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler Crosby's a lot better than people like to give him credit for.
I agree.
I think there's a slight chance he could beat out Big V.
Ooh, I don't know. That would be a horrible signing if he.
I think y'all being disrespectful. Y'all giving him too much credit, man.
I've seen Crosby play against guys like Von Miller, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Joey Bosa and hold own.
He did
and
well.
Look solid.
Yeah.
So I think he could beat him out. Jonah Jackson, I'm probably going. Him and Dahl's probably going to start. I think the pass blocking on the offense line is going to be really well. I question the run blocking a little bit because a lot of them ain't great run blockers, but I'm decently confident in this O line.
Okay. I like that. I don't know what it is of OnePride Nation. This is YouTube. I don't know the algorithms. Sometimes it just does weird stuff. So it is what it is. But let's see here. I was thinking, I would hear that Stafford was thinking about opting out. How would you feel if he did opt out? I would opt out of the season if Stafford opted out, because that means the season is over with. But I'm going to tell you why he didn't opt out. He took the test and he's still there. So if he opted out, and by the way, it's Thursday and the time has passed. So he didn't opt out. You're going to lose week 1. Just get used to it. You got to deal with Matthew Stafford for good old 16 games. I know.
Stafford and Golladay all day.
Stafford to Gala all a day. Through 9 running backs and injured vets and rookies, this line sucks. The line don't suck. It was ranked 11. It's not the greatest offensive line, but Salk is bottom 32. I don't see them being
like
that
our
bad.
Defense last year.
Yeah, though that sucked. That defensive line was bad.
Yeah.
Like you had two thumbnails to choose from today. FYI, I will have to look into that. And there's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to my channel. You're going to see some stuff taking place. YouTube is crazy via algorithm, but don't worry, it will get taken care of, and just takes time. I don't know how this operates, so it just kind of is what it is. Talk about Tyrell Crosby, because you brought up a really good point. I do believe Tyrell Crosby is underrated. The 5th round pick out of where? The Oregon Ducks, may I add.
Oh man, that sucks for him.
No. I think the Oregon Ducks, first off, is a
Got him.
Let me tell you about got him. Who is in a top 5 college team rankings right now? The Oregon Ducks. What is your team? Yes, they are. Who knows?
Top 5 was Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, and LSU.
Look at all the rankings. They're right there. They're in the top 5.
That's the most
6.
excitement I've seen out of Tone all day.
So,
hey, I mean,
when
getting
you
rid
say
of
got
Herbert
him,
is
I may well got you.
I mean, getting rid of Herbert is an upgrade. So
Test your might.
Yeah, you shall see. So Tyrell Crosby, why do I think he is good? Because he can play both left and right tackle. He's a good swing tackle. It's hard to get an individual that can play both positions. And as soon as there's an injury, he just steps in and can do it. Is he the greatest? Absolutely not. But he's a great backup, in my opinion. He's the perfect individual who's not old, who's not broken, that can step in and protect the quarterback if need be and push the pile just a little bit. I will take him as a backup over a lot of these backups on the offensive line. I trust him more Bo Benchwa. I trust him more than Rick Wagner on the team. Rick Wagner wasn't that great when he was with the Detroit Lions. I trust him more than all these other individuals like Ibushi as a swing individual. I think, is he the greatest? No, but it's a backup. Come on, man. He ain't that bad, Grid. He ain't that bad. Grid, Iron, Blitz, Speak, Travis Troxel. What do you think?
That was my reaction to it.
Okay.
That was that's I don't know. Did we watch the same games, Mike? Did we watch the same games?
We're talking about a backup here. This is not a starter. This is
not Tyler Decker.
This is not a starter. Yes, we're not talking starter. We're talking backup.
We're talking NFL player though.
Who can go?
That's disrespectful to Decker.
He can play left and right side as a swing tackle. Backup.
It looked like he was getting swung. And
Probably
he was
could kick
swinging
in
so
the
much
guard.
he had to hold.
Take other people's backups.
Whoa.
There's 32 teams, thus there's generally 64 backups. You're telling me that he is not worthy to be
I'm telling you, he needs to do better. That's all. Him and Decker, they both need to do better.
Decker
That's all.
definitely
Wait a minute.
needs to do
I gotta
better.
interject. First of all, I think Decker's way.
Of course you do, Tone. Of course.
I think Decker is way loose. See, he's criminally underrated. Decker is criminally underrated.
Maybe that's why he holds so much. Is that what happens?
Holds. Well, let's talk about last season. I told Travis this. Like he had 8 penalties, 4 of them were against the Cardinals. So he had about 4 in 14 games. The year before that, I think he had 3. His rookie season, I think he also had like 4 or 5. Decker doesn't get as many penalties that people like to say he does.
I don't know.
And most of his struggles were in that Cardinals game is when he got penalties. But other than that, like he had other than that Cardinals game, most of his career, he's never been really a penalty player. And I'm talking about declined and accepted penalties. Like the highest he's been was 8, and 4 of them was in the Cardinals game. Unlike guys like Lermy Tunsil who get like 10 plus, but we call him good. We say he good, but Decker, nah, on penalty. Not only that, Decker is really a good pass protector, and I feel like people like against Khalil Mack, he did really well against Khalil Mack this year, especially in that second game. Only time Khalil Mack really started to get him was in the fourth quarter when everybody knew the Lions was going to be passing, because eventually the Lions get to a point when they're going to be passing, and the D-line just pins their ears back and just fires off.
Here's a question for you. What do you rank him if left tackles in the NFL out of 32?
Dang. Because I definitely feel like he's above average, but I don't know. That's a tough, maybe top 10, maybe like at the bottom of top 10.
I say he would be 13, 14-ish. I think he's just a little bit above average.
I have
that means
maybe 15.
he has room for improvement if you're in that range, because he makes a lot of penalties. He does hold.
Packers.
Yeah, I got Decker in that 15 to 20 range.
Yeah.
Oh, out of 32.
That'd be respectful.
I think
no, it's not. I mean,
hey, don't disrespect Decker now. You can do it to Golladay, but don't disrespect.
Hey, Maybelline, come on now. Come on, Maybelline.
What say you, Gridiron? What do you think, man? What do you think? Where would you rank Taylor Decker out of 32?
Saints.
Hold on, let me cue it up.
AJ.
Okay. Let's
yeah,
go.
I think AJ would be ranked. You know what, guys? I don't really know, because I'm on the Detroit Lions. That's my team. I don't do all this other research and see. All I know is that he needs to improve.
Definitely needs to improve.
In my opinion, that's all I have to say about that.
That's hashtag facts. One thing that really frustrates me about Taylor Decker is his holding. He holds, and that frustrates me. He has room for improvement, and I think that's why the extension, when it comes to him this year, do we extend him? This is a big year for him.
Yeah,
because we may not extend him.
I think if he has a good year, Mike, I think we do.
I think because he has potential, but ever since his injury, he's just never been that. Like, he was really good his rookie year, and then he got injured, and it's just like he went to mid-level. I think he has so much potential, but he definitely needs room for improvement. Jorge says,
Dr. Detroit, I'm sorry, Mike. Why does everybody? I need to know. He said something about blasting me about Griffen. I know it's not a lot of people that's a fan of Griffen, man. A lot of people don't feel like he fits, and
because we watched this past 2 years.
Oh,
okay. This dude is on mute, but he got to find a way to come in and okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I got you.
Jorge says, since they're Lions, not Finns, will make the Super Bowl, who would you like to, since they're Lions nor Finns will make the Super Bowl? Oh, who would you want to see besides those two teams? Okay, this is a very good question. I would like to see for the AFC, I want to see the Tennessee Titans, man. I really like Derrick Henry. I know a lot of people are, they're kind of boring. I like that ground and pound style. I like that punch you in the mouth, that blue. I'd love to see the Tennessee Titans. I think it'd be fun to just see Derrick Henry just smash and mash people over. For the NFC, man, what a team I'd like to see? I think I would like to see Tom Brady one more time. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go there. I like Bruce Arians. I think he's a very good coach. I love their defense. Their defense is number 2 last year. I think it'd be fun to see a team like the offense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the high power versus a run first team on the Tennessee Titans. It would be interesting to see. What about you, Travis Troxel?
Mine would be the Baltimore Ravens and what do you call it? The Saints. Get Breeze that last title so he can retire.
Okay. Another thing is man, it's crazy. Like, I'd always stay with my team. I would never leave a fallen team member behind and leave. So I'm happy that you guys stayed on for this overtime and not going to another feed to talk and stay with your teammates. Derek, what say you? What do you say, man? What do you say? Who do you want to see in the Super Bowl?
I would love to see the Washington football team. Love to see them in the Super Bowl, because then the 2020 NFL champion will be the Washington football team. So I would love to, you know how much that would live in infamy, really? That would be insane, man. But honestly, I would love to see Drew Brees with, like Travis said, Drew Brees had a tough year. He had a tough year. And I would love to see him go out. I don't know if he would go out, though, but I feel like he probably would. And on the AFC side, I would say the Chargers, man. I know they have no shot, but I think they're my second favorite team. I really wanted them to win with Phillip and LT and Sean Merriman, and even, so I would love to see them get to a Super Bowl, but neither one of those are going to happen.
Okay. Hey, that's some good stuff. I'd ask Tone, who do you want to be in the Super Bowl? He would just say some weird answer. I don't know. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus Cleveland Browns.
I want the Chiefs. Who I want the NFC? I kind of want a run team in the NFC so they can get destroyed by a passing team. Well, that happened last year. I guess. I guess the Buccaneers, just so we can see that they will get destroyed against the actual elite team.
Wow.
Oh my God. The hatred.
Fire. Yes, man. What is something in the air, bro? Dern and now Tone and we need TA, man. What TA?
We need TA. Ragnow is the really only player I know is going to be good. Ragnow is definitely good. Frank Ragnow probably going to go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
If not rated off popularity contest, I think he's going to have a stud. Hockenson should be a stud. Oh, there's a good question here from me. Do you think that TJ Hockenson's going to take the next step? Travis Troxel of Troxel Sports Talk.
Yes.
Okay. And why?
I mean, the dude could do multiple things. He can block for the run. Mm-hmm. He can, get wide open on the pass and downs. He could do a combination of both, play action. He can, block to sell the run and go ahead and go get open. Okay. And, try to move the first downs. I mean, what he did in that his very first NFL football game was truly impressive. Yeah. I mean, he had over 100 yards and got a touchdown. I mean, hey, he blew all of what Eric Ebron did out in the first game. Now does he need to stop hurdling? Absolutely. Yes. We need to see him consistently on the field.
Yes.
But absolutely, TJ Hockenson is going to be amazing. He's definitely going to be a stud. And, we got ourselves a darn good tight end.
What say you, Gridiron Blitz? Do you think he's going to take the next step that's required to be the 8th overall pick in the 2019 draft? He's got to, in my opinion, but do you think he will?
I do. Okay. I do. Guys, I just, it's another website reported about Griffen and Clay. So I need to get my tissue because I'm starting to
get the sad music going. I want to hear some sad music. Let's go. Sad music.
I'm actually producing tears. Tears are coming, guys. Yes, TJ Hockenson, man, he balled out in that first game. He's got to stop hurdling, but other than that, man, I think he is going to take the next step.
Folks, we've been on for we went to overdrive. We went to 2.5 hours. We weren't expecting that, but when you hit the algorithm, you got to go with it, and that's the bottom line. But we're going to close this bad boy out for sure. Love you, Miss J. Love you, buddy. While we close this out, Tone, what do you got to say to the folks out there?
You said me, right?
Yes, you.
Holy moly!
What I gotta say to the folks?
My God!
Nice time being on the show. Cam Newton is trash, and Kenny Golladay is in top 20.
Wow.
Okay, I am glad that he has been removed from there. What say you, Travis Troxel?
Got him.
What say you, Travis? While we close this bad boy out.
Well, I am working on dropping this 3-part series. That should be dropping at noon. I'm not going to give you a day, though, but it is going to drop at noon. So be at the table at noon. And because I don't know if I want to drop it like during the weekend, or do I want to drop it, Monday morning, and then I'll have something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I can use this weekend to worry about what's going to happen on Thursday, Friday, and then I got the weekend to continue working on more content, so I'm dropping content for you guys every day.
Okay.
But it will these 3-part series are going to drop in 3 consecutive days at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That is PM at noon Eastern Standard Time.
All right, man.
But love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the super chatters. Appreciate all the thumbs up. I want to see 200 thumbs up though. Let's get it popping. Because Mike's a cool guy. But this is Trucks Sports Talk. Have a nice day, and I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. The Gridiron Blitz, man. While we close this bad boy out, what do you got to say?
Well, I didn't know he was getting kicked out, so that makes more pressure. I just got to say thank you guys so much. Thank you for the awesome show, the awesome chat. Thank you for helping getting Infinite Sports Network to 200 subs today. So we are on our way. Be safe, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Peace. Folks, I want to appreciate everyone that came out. Make sure you hit that like button while you are about to leave the stream. Please do so before you leave. If you are listening after the fact, I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to the content. It's all about OnePride, all about Detroit Lions, and that's what it's about. We're trying to take the narrative of Detroit from bottom to much bigger. We don't get the biggest presence on the legacy media. That's what we're all about here when it comes to the Detroit Lions YouTubers. So I appreciate you. I humbly, absolutely love that you guys take the time out of your day to listen to us talk Detroit Lions. And so with that said, folks, I'm going to leave you with this. Wash your hands and adios.